What's happening? I really am getting congested. Lovely.
Drink some water.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, why is that the ad? That's just...
You tell me.
I don't know, man.
I think we're live.
I think we're live.
Yep, we're live.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. It's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another episode of Talkin' Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's. This is episode 61. Captain, it's an interquel. I cannot wait to break down the craziness from this episode.
You gotta take it
Wow,
down.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I've been at this level for 24 hours.
Homie's at a 12 and I'm at a 0.5 right now. This is something.
I'm excited, but I'm worried.
I'm saying that's my point. A 0.5 is high on this level. It's at a scale of 1.
Let me tell you something.
Oh.
Yeah.
The end of this episode was one of the craziest endings to any Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode ever. It just was.
Oh yeah, it's
and ladies and
shocking.
gentlemen, it's so crazy that we do have the whiteboard ready to go. You can see a little bit of what I'm cooking up here. We got the rocket ship heading down to Earth. We got Yugi, Yuga, and Yuumu. How does it all tie in? Well, we'll discuss that in just a little bit when we switch over to the whiteboard cam. But before we do that, I do want to thank Dredger and Nick T for being here. Gentlemen, thank you as always so much for coming on.
Oh, man.
What a great day.
It's going to be crazy.
Pete is also here. He is actually currently finishing the episode. We expect to have him on in about 10-15 minutes. Calibro, a rare miss today.
Yeah, rare
he
miss.
had to dog sit, which is totally understandable. So Calibro is not here. I know he saw the episode and he wishes he was here because this is a great one to discuss.
Yeah,
but I'm sure next week will also be a phenomenal one to discuss as well. So before we just get into our general thoughts, because I know everyone wants to hear the theory crafting. Everyone wants to hear our takes on what's going on. We do have to talk about the episode as a whole. So we're not going to, I'm sure most of the conversation is going to be theory crafting.
We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. But we will talk about the beginning part of the episode. The beginning part of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the first, 17 minutes kind of thing?
Before we get into that, I do want to thank everybody who donated and or super chatted in last week's episode. A huge thank you to Ice Aiden, Anonymous Anime Lover, Crystal Colden, Colin Cleaves, Natalie Lopez, Pick Rick, Ivrea, Legendary Duels, Dark Emperor J, Angie, Sean Gilbride, and Limestone. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel. There are 2 ways to donate. The first way is to do it through the super chat function on YouTube. The second is the donation link, which is right in the description. It is not expected. It is not required at all to be here and to enjoy the podcast, and I appreciate you regardless for being here. But those are the 2 ways to support the channel in that way if you want to. No pressure whatsoever. And I do want to announce this stream and production is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, Pandora Radio, wherever you get your streaming from. So that's super exciting. All right. Boys, I got to take a deep breath here.
Take a deep breath. You're
spat
out a lot.
I won't lie.
So my voice is getting better.
Really?
I went to the ENT on Monday, and everything's getting better.
And that's just from the medication and
just from the medication,
dietary.
the mouthpiece has been super helpful. So she said, we'll do vocal therapy still, which is going to start next Tuesday. And you still might need the surgery to remove the polyp, but we'll see. I mean, right now it feels pretty good.
It sounds good.
Well, I mean, you did stream Monday, right?
I streamed late yesterday night.
Yeah.
And I was going crazy in that stream, yelling.
Good.
I wasn't there to yell at you.
So you weren't there to yell.
Yeah, no, I was watching.
Well, we can yell tonight. Don't worry. This is. I streamed Monday and last night.
Yeah,
so anyway,
3 days in a row.
Good. 3 days in a row. Wow. It's been good. I'm feeling good. And my God, I am ready to talk about this episode. Do either of you boys want to start us?
I think just your excitement alone means you need to.
I think you got to start.
I think you have to start it. Just the excitement alone. I'm hyped for us now.
Okay, I'll start it.
Oh, okay. You ready?
So, episode 61 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush is an episode that I think is going to live in the Yu-Gi-Oh! History books forever.
Wow.
Not because it was the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode ever. It wasn't. In fact, the first probably 20 minutes I was kind of on the fence about the episode entirely. I liked that we were in this weird space. We've wanted to see since Maximilian Pegasus carded Yugi's grandpa in the second episode ever of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. I've always wondered what happens when you get carded. I've always wondered that.
Fair
Now,
question.
I think it's different for every show.
Yeah.
I would have to
obviously.
think so,
But
yeah.
it's cool that at least in this show, we get a little bit of an insight as to how that process works. And we see a character, when they get carded, get transformed into a cat, which there might be a little bit more of a tie into Neanderstar there. Like
Yeah.
that.
I
There's
think I
definitely
had mentioned some with that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what exactly.
and Neanderstar was mentioned in this episode. So, like, that was cool to just see, like, how these characters all interact and kind of go about it, being carded. But what was really fascinating was seeing all the transportations within this carded world. I'm just going to call it the carded world.
That's
Sure,
fair.
I like that.
It is. It is.
It's
Because
the easiest,
we don't
yeah.
really have a name for it. So,
Well, I think they refer to it as like the card world.
oh, they do refer to it.
when,
They do refer to
when,
it that
when
way, yeah.
Yuumu first enters it, I believe she just calls it is this like the card world.
Okay,
thing.
perfect.
Yeah.
So in the card world, there's all these doors that look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It reminded me a little bit of a Tem's mind. Do you remember the episodes where you would go inside of a Tem's mind?
Yeah.
And you would
It's
see
interesting.
all these doors.
And they all lead to the same-
nothing. Some of them lead to traps that could end your
Yeah.
life. Like, it's very similar to like a puzzle room in
Yes.
that regard. And
Yeah.
I thought that was, I don't know if that was maybe a little bit of a connection they were
I
making there.
think it was supposed to look kind of
Okay.
like that.
It reminded me of it.
especially with Meek-chan just in the beginning going through doors, just trying to like getting lost. in
Oh,
the,
Chupa looking for
yeah,
Meek-chan.
Yeah.
sure.
God, dude.
Well,
but yeah.
Chupa was something. So
He caused a lot of trouble.
He did cause a lot of trouble. So anyway, the duel commences, and as the duel is going on, really, this was another Go Rush episode where the duel to me wasn't really all that interesting. Everything happening around the duel is what made it so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really like... I don't like duels when the characters are using like
Same
kind of these
exact-
weird gimmick
same
decks,
exact deck,
especially
too.
when it's the same exact
They
deck.
use the same moves on
Um,
different turns.
Right, exactly.
Literally, yeah.
No, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So like the duel itself was very just kind of
was
boring. It was meh. But everything going on around it, going into the Asana field spell.
Yes.
Like the worm field spell, seeing like them duel in that room, and then seeing them duel in the Yugioh Mad Max
Yeah.
apocalypse
Yeah.
field spell. And then that's when things started to get weird because Bochi and Manya were in that room, and obviously Mimi is the mother of Yugioh, and
Right.
Manya has the fans like Mimi does.
Yeah.
The Manya cat.
And even like Bochi being huge and jacked in his normal state felt. I'm thinking now it might be a sort of tie
Right.
to not that like ancestor wise, but at least homage wise to Yugioh.
Absolutely, yeah. And the other thing that, when it started to get weird, was when Bochi was like, I feel like a familiarity here. Like, I feel like I
Exactly.
belong here.
Yes.
When he said that, I'm like, all right, things are going to get weird really quickly.
Yeah.
And they did.
And they
They did. Because then the next room we see is the Royal Demon field spell, the Roa field spell
Yes.
in that arena. And, of course, London was in there. And
Yeah.
London
Yeah.
was just chilling in there. And he starts saying, get a chance. Which, of course, is a reference to Geta.
Yeah.
And as I'm watching the episode, I'm like, there's no Geta variant in this show.
No.
So, like, there's, like, I know it's a pun, but, like, there's no reason he should be saying that pun.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously something deeper. And I'm like, I wonder if these characters are starting to get the same, like, memories of like their future selves
Right.
and the selves that existed later on in Sevens.
Yeah.
So like that whole process was very weird to me. The duel's going on, the field spell is used, and ultimately the duel was fascinating because of Strange Cat. This was a monster that was summoned in. Yeah, are we good?
Apparently, there is a
No,
Geta.
he is. He's
There's
one
a-
of the
He's one of the UTS-8.
ATS-8.
Oh, the
Dark
old
blue hair,
guy.
blue hair, blue
Yeah,
hair,
there
yeah.
is. Is his name Geta?
It's Gale Tara. Apparently.
Okay, so it's not Geta, but there is a variant. Okay, so I
Yeah.
stand corrected.
But
there.
still, I mean, doesn't
Yeah.
say get a chance. Like he doesn't have it the same
Right.
catchphrase.
Right, still fascinating in that regard. And then, of course, for Strange Cat to be so symbolic here.
Yes.
Yeah. A monster that was summoned, I believe, in the very first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. For that monster to have the, I guess, deeper meaning when I think it's London reading the card as Yuhi, Yumu, and Yuga are going through this final teleportation to what we now know as the future where Sevens took place.
Right.
Is insane because remember, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens came to an end, one of the last things we got is all the characters reciting the legend of the King of Duels.
Yes.
Right? With Yuga, how a boy would become, whatever
Yes.
that poem was. But that was very, like, storybook. And this seemed very storybook as well. So, like, one of the last scenes we saw of Yuga in the Sevens world was all these characters reciting reciting a speech, reciting a statement that was on, a slogan. And as Yugioh enters this world again, you have London reciting something that's on a card.
Yeah.
So I felt like the connection there was also
a huge parallel.
super spot on and super parallel. So like there were so many deep things. And then of course we get to the end of this episode and it's what we would have dreamed of beyond our wildest dreams for this show. We've said since, episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, hey, maybe we'll go to the Sevens world. I always said it kind of serious, but also kind of facetious, because I was like, I don't think they're actually going to go to the Sevens world. I always thought maybe Yugioh would return and leave the Go Rush cast, but here we are.
Yeah.
We're in the Sevens world, and based on the preview, the guy coming down in the rocket ship is not the Yugioh that we've been with for Go Rush.
No.
That is freaking
sounds factual.
Insane. But I've been saying for weeks now.
Who said it?
I've been saying for weeks. And you can go back and watch the tape. I'm not convinced. And as Go Rush was going on, I became less and less convinced that the character at the end of Sevens in that ship was Yugioh. I've been saying it for weeks. And here we go. It seems like, unless it's a different version of him, like a third version, just possible.
Which is possible.
It's not. So anyway, we're going to theory craft, but just an absolutely
I'll say my theory for later.
Crazy episode. I'm going to get to the whiteboard in just a little bit, but I'm going to let these two to my left kind of give their general thoughts on the episode.
General thoughts. I'll go first. Again, I kind of with Dill. I thought the first 17, 18 minutes of the episode were very just average. It was your normal Yu-Gi-Oh, nothing crazy. It was all right. I like though, watching. Again, it goes back to watching Yuga work, watching Yuga in the duel, just noticing like we're in field spells.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if I play a field spell, what'll happen.
Yeah.
And we didn't even talk really about that. Is how they got out of the card world. I mean, they used a field spell inside a field spell, which kind of seemed to break the system, and then they came out. Which is interesting how that worked.
Yeah.
Why is that the way to work? Why had no one else tried that? Just so watching Yuga be as smart as he was even in Sevens was cool. I like that. But yeah, the duel was alright. But then once we see them, I remember specifically watching that episode. And at first I'm like, wait a minute. Then if you watch them right when they come out of the door, they say, "Oh, what are we back in Mutsaba Town?" And I go, and I could see their newer buildings, and I'm like,
no.
"Oh, there's no way."
We're
And
not
I'm
in
literally
Mutsaba Town
going, "No,
anymore.
there's no way." And then I slowly see that what is it, the Goha Corporation?
Goha
I see the bomb,
Corporation,
the symbol, and I go, "You gotta be!" And I dropped an F-bomb. I won't say it now, but I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, there's no way."
Yeah, I mean, bleeping.
And mind you, I pause it then and call this man immediately and go, "Dude, are you kidding me? This is big." And then he goes, "Dude, you haven't even watched the preview yet." I'm like, "There's a pre." I'm like, "Oh shoot, the preview gets
That's
crazier."
the craziest part.
And then I watch the preview and I see, you see the Rush robot. You see, you just seeing the ship and the three of the cats watching the ship, being like, that's not Yuga.
Yeah, because at first you're like, "Oh, that's cool." Like they're picking up right
and
where
then you
Sevens left
take a
off.
second and you go,
Wait a minute.
You go, wait.
Yep.
You go. It's one of those like the Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
he's over there. But he's not there. Who's over
Yeah.
there? Oh shoot.
Who's in the ship?
Yeah. So
The
very
same
exciting.
ship that Luke and all of them are making a beeline to, thinking it's Yuga.
Imagine Otis comes out and just like.
Well, I mean, that's the question. Is it Otis? Is it not Otis? We're going to talk about all that. Nick T, your thoughts here on the episode.
That's
So, like, for the most of the episode, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Here? Like, it's weird. Like, why cats?
The cat still is confusing.
It's so confusing, but it's, like, interesting. And I think there's, like, in a weird way, and I didn't expect it at all, but it was right in front of our faces, the tie-in, right? Like, to Nyandastar, who wasn't a cat, and then suddenly she was.
Right.
And, I mean, maybe this is jumping ahead into the sort of theory crafting, but I mean, I feel like it has to be the creator.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Nyandastar was maybe like the first experiment or something.
Who
for the
knows,
carded
right?
world. Yeah.
Oh,
But this whole time, I'm thinking, the creator's powers are magical of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I feel like this episode kind of leans, if it is the creator who's, done all this, created this card world, leans technological, because Yuga literally crashed it, basically. Yeah. There was glitching, and it caused a door that led them outside. So, like, I don't know. It's all very weird.
Yeah.
But But I thought it was interesting. The duel was whatever. It was cute. I liked the sort of traveling through like different field spell worlds.
Oh, Seven's field spells.
Yeah.
That was cool. It was a good throwback. I should say that. It was a good throwback.
But it was... I mean, the last 5 minutes really that's what takes the cake for this episode. Otherwise, it was like it was a cute episode. You know, everybody's cats, the cat puns galore, whatever.
Yeah.
But the last 5 minutes, I mean,
that's it.
Throwing us in Matsuba Town and watching us having our team watch the scene from episode.
And again, I think that the best is that delay for a second. When you take that out, you go,
wait a minute.
If
Yuga's here, who's
in the shit?
Right.
Yes.
And then of course, end the episode. It's like, you gotta be. It's the best spot to end that after. And I said this to you on the phone call, and we didn't mention it. Like, last week or 2 weeks ago, we said his name. We made it's a prequel. It's that's what it is.
Welcome.
And then boom, next episode. No, we're gonna go back to that in the middle of this show, and we're not even waiting.
So it's funny because anyone who said that it was a prequel was right.
Technically, yes.
Technically, anyone who also said it was a sequel
is also right.
That's
so
why. Hence your name.
Everyone's happy
because it is both.
Everyone's happy. Pete, thank you so much for joining. Pete is here.
Good to see you,
guy.
Good to see you.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good. Well, you just watched the episode. I don't know now. I know you usually don't watch the preview. Did you watch the preview?
I did.
Okay.
You told me to.
I did tell you to.
Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Okay. So we're literally going down general thoughts. So actually, you would have been next. So
You're
perfect
up, Pete.
timing. So what did you think about 61?
Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was.
I'm still wondering why cats. I mean, we're gonna get that answer because they specifically said the Neanderstar thing, and we've been wondering about that and then kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
So now that they came back around, I'm convinced we'll get. I don't know how elaborate of an answer there is, but we'll get something.
Yeah.
I paused the preview and I was just like, what's going on here? Because I was just like, I got it. It was very annoying to pause it to the exact second because it only lasts half a second. But I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure you guys are talking about this. That looks like the ship. I thought Yugioh came down on.
It's a Spider-Man
and I would have never saw that because I don't normally watch the preview.
Right.
But you told me upstairs watch the.
That's one where you have to.
And I don't understand because they showed Yuhi and Yuumu in Cats. I'm like, all right. Somehow he got back up there. I have no idea. Maybe this is the end of Yugioh. We've combined the timelines or some shit. And then the third shot shows Yugioh as the cat.
And so you're like...
So he's looking up at what I thought was him coming down out of the sky.
He was him.
And it's not. So now... So now it more gives me chills in my spine of... Who the fuck is that? So I'm like, what's going on here?
I know.
And now our whole Sevens crew that we love near and dear are getting conned.
Right.
Because they're all excited that he's back.
Yeah.
And the card comes online. Well, it comes online because Cat Yugioh
Yeah.
not the guy
which
joining
is
the
really
ship.
not good.
It just happened to be a coincidence of them joining at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is just...
Psychotic.
So you're giving credence to the situation where it's like, all right, well, obviously that's got to be Yugioh. But it's not because Yugioh is there. He's just... not where you think he is.
Yes.
And
It was
really creeps me out.
That's a crazy twist.
And it makes me think not only you might be right with the Otis thing, but if that's right, it makes me hate him more because there's something really twisted with this man.
Yes.
And even more than we thought. And now I want him to die.
Oh yeah, now.
I'll cheer to that. I'll cheer to
So
that.
the episode itself, it was good. It was fun.
It was the ending.
The field spell was cool. My boy Yugioh, man. Even as a cat, why can't he win?
But even in the loss, he succeeded in what he needed to do.
He always that's the Yugioh troll.
I know.
That's the Yugioh troll.
But that's what he is.
I'm sick of him being the jobber. I'm sick of him being he's
Dolph
smart enough
Ziggler.
that he's playing 40.
He's a great Dolph Ziggler. He's Dolph Ziggler.
Lost.
Or the Miz.
And I'm just like, dude, please
give
this man a win.
What's crazy is if he loses a couple more times, I don't know how many more it is. I think it might actually be one or two now. He overtakes Chaz for most losses in Yu-Gi-Oh!
And that's not
And it just
come on.
No,
and Chaz is not.
That's stats.
And he's not a main character. Well, he's not a frontline character in the sense that he's like a rival.
Yeah.
So that part too, I was just like,
one question.
Death taxes
there
and
were,
Yuga losing.
There were three.
honestly,
There were three cats that it seemed like someone recognized.
Yes.
There was a blue cat, a green cat, and a red cat.
Who
Teal.
recognized Yugi?
Who are those three?
They are based on the Tremolo monsters that he summoned against Yuhi.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
And they were hitting on Yugi?
Yugi had
Yeah, that was a little
Yeah,
freaky.
yeah, that cat race.
I don't know if that's what it was, but if you look up Tremolo's deck, the three, because it matches their color schemes. It was green, blue, and red, I believe.
It does.
The three
one of them's
angel-like
the-
monsters
yeah,
or mermaid monsters.
Yeah.
Abyskite, is it not defense wall, protect wall or whatever?
Maybe look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. Yeah, but that had to be who those cats were based
I
off
couldn't
of.
figure it out. I figured I'd
So-
ask you that you might know.
So they must have been like, I don't know if they were like humans that like were carded and then like Tremolo somehow turned them into cards, or like because they're not cats on the cards that Tremolo
prevent wall.
uses.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
one of them.
Oh yeah, not monsters,
protection.
but, yeah.
Protection,
Yeah.
prevent wall, and there's a third one.
I
Yeah.
don't know what it is. Third one. It might be magic card.
I don't
It is.
know. But I
Maybe
get
not.
but no, it's definitely
Yeah.
It's not that.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
that's who those characters.
So
were.
that makes it weird.
Well, when Tremolo calls them my cuties, that's what he's referring to, the cats. There were a lot of MI. By the way, I love low-key how many MIK soldiers
The whole
there
MIK,
were,
so the whole.
because that to me confirms
A hostile
this was a
takeover.
super hostile takeover.
Yeah.
That they just came in and started carding MIK agents left and right, and all
They
the
just
other
started
MIK
blasting.
agents just fell in line because they didn't want to get
I
carded.
mean,
Right.
wouldn't you?
I would.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Manabu did.
Dylan would have been.
You
in
break
line
their
that
spirit.
hostile.
A Dredge wouldn't do it.
No, I'd be a card.
Dredge has a spine.
You'd
I'd
be
be
a
a card.
card.
I'd
I'd
fall
be
in line
instant
for sure.
card.
Yeah.
You'd what?
He would be a Monoboon.
Yeah.
Absolutely be in that position.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll do whatever you want.
He wouldn't be pretending to be he would really be in with
You're like,
it.
oh, I
Yeah,
got this.
he would.
I got you. I'm
I'll
gonna
see
pretend like I'm
one
with
person
them.
get carded. I'm like, oh no, I'll do it. That's it.
What do you need me to do? I got you.
You go down to the 7th level and Caliber's working for them in accounting.
All right, chat. We got to go to the whiteboard.
You going to the whiteboard?
We're going to the whiteboard.
Good luck.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right,
I mean, you should have saw his picture before, Pete. I fixed
All right, we got the
picture. It was a lot
whiteboard
worse.
cam, so I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through what we got here. So obviously we got Otis's rocket,
bro.
Yeah.
or I should
Hope
say,
you do it
an unknown rocket heading down to Earth at the end of
You're the best.
episode 92. So here's the tie-in. This is obviously stuff we know. It's nothing new. Go Rush episode 61. Kat Yuhi, Kat Yuga, Kat Uemu are witnessing what happened at the end of Seven's episode 92. So what's beautiful about this is we have an immediate time. We're not wondering at what point in time did they enter the Seven's universe. We know that they enter the Seven's universe right at the end of the series, right at the end of episode 92, as the rocket is descending to Earth. So here's the question, because you got Yuga right here. For years,
It's
we thought this was Yuga. You see him riding in the ship. He got the smile on as soon as he enters the atmosphere. This might not be Yuga. Now I say might not be because with time travel, things can get weird. Things can get very weird very quickly. And so, could this be, and I'll write it,
Oh, Lord.
What's he writing?
I didn't know there was a quiz there.
okay, this
I didn't.
is,
Is there
did not
pop
study.
quiz? I didn't study.
all right, marker's not working. All right.
Ooh.
Guy owns $1 billion. Doesn't ever work at month.
Okay. So could this be,
That's cool.
and I want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. Could this be a second Yuga? A Yuga that something weird happened because time travel.
It's not out of their own possibility.
What are your thoughts on that? That this is another version of Yuga?
I think it's not
Not impossible.
impossible. So I'd have
But-
thought when this first aired, episode 92, I'd have thought I'm pretty sure I said it on stream that there's a possibility that the hyperspace may have like combined like in a weird like
Otis and
hyperspace-
I think you did say Otis and
Yuga.
yes, you did say that. That is
And I don't think that
it's.
I think this could add credence to that.
But if Otis and Yuga combined, wouldn't then how is this Yuga?
Time is
regular?
I mean
Is it that a
that's
second
what-
Yuga get born?
maybe.
What do you
Maybe.
think?
So this is where time travel.
Yeah, this is where
gets
time
weird.
travel gets
Right,
very
100%,
fun.
yeah.
As someone who has
Flash.
no shame reading comics and stuff, this is just a part of how things go. Usually these are time paradoxes where the same person can exist in the same moment and be in two different places, but they're basically two different beings, but it's the same being. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
And one creates the other, right? Like Cat Yugi being there, Cat Yuga being there is the only reason why what we think is Yuga came back, and vice versa. Like they both create each other in that moment. So it could be a moment where Cat Yuga goes back to the Go Rush world, and then he still will eventually end up as that Yuga. It's just like a cycle of how it gets confusing.
Yeah.
You're going to have to explain that. So it's totally a possibility that it could be. It's not like a second Yuga in the sense that it's a clone or a duplicate.
Right.
It's the same person. It's just there's
Different
some kind of
point in time.
paradox that they end up existing in the same moment.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So that's one that I thought of immediately.
It's possible,
Could
definitely.
be true. But now here's what I believe is probably the most likely. This isn't a secret. I'm not gonna hold.
You're gonna like slow roll us. You're just gonna hit it.
I'm just gonna hit
Better
it.
You didn't slow
Hit it.
So at the end of the duel in '92, Yuga and
There we
Oda, Yuga defeats Otis. They go into the hyperspace.
Actually, not terrible.
We've seen Yuga. We know what happened to Yuga. He went back in time. We still don't know what happened to this man. A lot of similarities between Otis and the creator in terms of same voice actor being tied in with the relic, but we don't know for sure if the creator and Otis are the same character or what the similarities are. Maybe the Otis is a creation of the creator. We really don't know. Is this character on the rocket ship at the end of '92? Is this Otis? Dredge?
It can be. Like I think this is a question where this is a great poll. You should really when you're done over there, poll. We gotta poll this for sure. I don't know. This show, specifically Go Rush, has I'm usually pretty good at predicting where a show's going. Cross out Attack on Titan because I had no clue where that was going. That threw me for a loop. But for the most part, I usually know what's going on in a show. I give myself a lot of credit. I can analyze, things like that. There was Cat World. We're in what is it? Interquel. In Interquel, this
was a loop.
At this point, I'm so excited for what's next. I don't care who it is. I'm so excited of how all this is going to connect. How they're gonna blow my mind. I'm just excited for that. But if you need an answer, yes or no, it's Otis. I'll say yes, it is here, or some variant of Otis and Yuga. That'd be my next best guess. I do like Pete's thought of I like Pete's definition of time travel and how that works. He's absolutely right.
Poorly done. But
no, I think that was well done because that I don't know that I'd like if it was he agree with him. That's how it works. But I think this being an Otis, they were in a time warp or a hole. What if they combined their brain? You could
You go a million.
No million ways. I'll say though, yes, it has an Otis. Part of Otis is inside that rocket. We'll say.
Do you think Otis is the safe bet here, Pete?
Safe?
No, honestly, I think it's a 50-50.
Okay.
Honestly,
That's
I
fair.
think Time Paradox and Otis are both possibilities.
Yeah.
Alright.
The only thing that
It's not.
you really have evidence with the Otis part is we thought it was weird when Sevens ended. The smile, it was a
creepy
strange.
Otis smile. It wasn't a
not
Yuga smile.
Yuga-like.
It was never a Yuga
So
smile.
that almost seems like a man that he knows he conned everyone and he's about to
He's
get
faking them
They all
out.
got.
Yeah.
And that makes me a little worried. Just because I'm more worried for what happens to these Sevens characters now, because if that is him or something,
Kill them all.
he's an evil man.
Yes.
So this is not good.
Yeah.
And Yuga is still gone. He's a cat, so
Right.
he can't really help.
Right.
So yeah, I'm very fascinated, and the only thing I will say is I could totally eat these words. It might fall flat on its face, but
You never know.
That's the beauty.
this is the stuff where when people say the whole ridiculous argument of Gallup and Bridge and all that stuff, it's this is what I love from Bridge, is that this is so thought out. They had plans of this since they started Seven.
Clearly.
Even though they didn't have every detail probably down, they had a rough arc of where this was going.
They did.
That they wanted to loop back to this moment. And I just think that should be applauded because I think that's just incredible storytelling, and it takes guts to plan something out in Seven and assume and have confidence enough that I think we're going to get another show. They're going to give us another one. Brand new studio, but we're going to do a well enough job that they're going to give us another one, and this is the story we want to tell, and they went for it, and I think they deserve a lot of props for that.
Yeah, and something
Well
that
said.
I'm very well said. And I'm going to actually add on to what Pete said here. something that I also love and I feel very confident in, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. Same main writer, same director, same composition person. It's the same team, same dual composition writer. It's the same exact team.
That helps.
It's not like, and we've seen trilogies before, I think of the Star Wars 7, 8, and 9, where you have different directors for each movie, and you see how
it was rough.
shaky that turns out.
Yeah.
You have conflicting visions.
Yeah.
And so the vision that one director has is not the same as, what your other directors are. Yeah. And that's why that trilogy is viewed as kind of
It's also
all over the place.
Without going down that rabbit hole, it's also why Daisy Ridley didn't know who her character was while they were filming episode 9.
That's a problem.
Jeez, that's a problem.
No, it's a huge problem.
It will always be insane to me, but anyway.
Yeah, no, it's a huge issue. And so what I like about this setup, whatever they decide to do, this is the vision of the people that wrote Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's.
Yeah.
This is not a totally different team now getting involved in a story they didn't write or they had no hand in. This is the same exact people that wrote 7's. It's what Pete said. This is the vision that they had way back.
I think these bricks have
61
been laid for a
episodes ago.
long time.
100%. And that makes me as a viewer feel very comfortable because whether it succeeds, which I really hope it does, I think it will, or it crashes and burns, at least it's not two different teams here, and it's like, wow, they really sullied the work that the 7's team put in. It's the same people.
Yeah.
That makes me feel confident. The only other thing I want to get your opinion on this whiteboard, I want you to throw some characters here. I mean, we talk about another version of Yuga. We talk about Otis. Is there anyone that we've seen that you think this could be? Zuijo, Creator, Udius?
I can't see anybody else.
Okay.
Other than Yuga, another Yuga or Otis.
Okay.
Or a combination of those two, but I can't see a third option there.
Okay, that's fair.
So I'm like, no, I agree, but I'm looking at the image of the from episode 92 of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's. I'm looking at it, and I'm just staring at it.
He's just staring.
I'm just trying.
He's looking. He's smiling at us.
Like I'll put it full screen. It's not. But like just so Pete and Nick T can see it.
Yeah,
That's what we're looking at.
I know. And
Like so, just so chat knows, it's hard to see. But like that's
they can't see it with this image.
Yeah, full screen. Like just look at that creepy. Like I don't know, something about that smile here.
It doesn't sit right with me.
It's just. It's not a Yu. It really now like. If you think about, like, pretend that this is Otis's mask. Like, that's what it looked like. It had that look.
That mask also looks very
futuristic
high-tech and futuristic.
Yeah.
Remember, they're coming from the past. The other thing that's very interesting about this, and it's always been interesting, where's Mr. Goha? Isn't the drone head in this shot somewhere?
Well, this is your review. I don't know if
that's
it's in
my
here.
review.
Is it in here?
I'm pretty sure... Oh, right. Look at what's facing him. It's the
it
Goha
is the drone. The Goha drone head.
And I always thought that was interesting because remember, the Goha drone head was with Otis at the end of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7.
Yeah.
So it was not with Yuga.
Yeah.
We all just assumed that, I guess it's with Yuga now because we just assumed that was Yuga.
I mean, I guess...
But
Yeah.
But that also is because Luke says, like Yuga's back.
Right, and everything goes back online. Yeah.
Because Yuga showed up.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's Otis.
The one thing that we did say, so like, the only other one I would throw up there is the creator assuming it's not Otis.
Okay,
just
like
because
a potential third option.
we know this is the same world now. It's not another dimension. It's not anything. It's the past and the present and all that stuff.
Right.
Or future, whatever you want to consider it. He could have just been playing the long game with this.
Right.
And, like, he set everything in motion, assuming it's not the same person. And that he's now come down to exact his grand plan. Yeah. Like, it worked out. Maybe for him, if they're two different people, maybe Otis was a puppet for him. He got Otis to do what he needed, and then now it worked out perfectly for him to arrive as Yuga, and then he got what he wanted.
Yeah, no, I actually don't disagree with you there. I think the creator
someone who is
being
willing
involved in
to
this right now is
sacrifice
not
their
out of the realm of
life
possibility.
in order
We've
to
seen him
I don't
save
think it is.
have
the-
godlike powers.
And now we have
It's
sevens
not
where we have this
crazy
2-year
for
skip,
that
so
to
much
happen.
to fill in,
And the other
if
thing I would
ever,
say too is like
in ending
one
Yuga.
thing we did say at the end of
Where
Sevens
did
is
they
we said
knew
that could be Yuga,
Mr.
but did he
Goha
change?
staring
Like, did
at
he become
Yuga?
the next Otis?
That's
we
what I
see
thought.
Yuga's
He's a
smirk.
different person.
I believe it looks like
I guess
Otis's smirk. I think,
that-
assumingly,
has to
Mr.
be a
Goha
thought as well. I don't
staring
know
at
how time
Yuga.
travel-wise it
We
would
see
work.
Yuga's smirk.
It can.
I believe
but
it looks
it'll
like
be
Otis's
very
smirk. I think a
confusing,
lot of
but
people probably
that's
feel that
still in
way.
there as well.
And
That
so an
is
early
Yuga, but
theory
it's
that I
not a
have
good version of
is
Yuga.
Yuga the new
You know.
Otis? Is Yuga the wouldn't that be new something evil Yuga?
That
kind of
would be kinda
ringleader
sick. Would he
here,
actually-
an orchestrator
actually
of
win?
everything that is about to happen?
I think
Where
Yuga
did
would
Yuga go for those 2 years?
Why do you
What
want me to
happened
yell
to him?
louder? Can you
And
not
what
hear me,
I
or
believe
did you
could be the
agree with my
case
point?
I think
is
he's the
Yuga
point you're making. I think he's
maybe
like, yell out.
went
So-
to Velgears, So this is the the home shot planet of the character at the Udius, end of 92. I have to informed say the Velgears character about now, rush because we really- duels. I really Things don't got think it's dire Yuga. for them in the
Oh,
war,
the
maybe
arms.
30, 40, 50 years later, depending on how long the skip is. And that's how...
Oh, the audio's chaotic.
the
'cause I had
audio is
episode
playing,
review
that's
going.
why.
Oh, that's a me blunder. Hey, that's on me. That's on me.
That's
I should be fine now. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is the character. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think the Mr. Goha drone, which was also with Otis at the end of the show,
Yeah.
I think that's also a huge indicator here that it could be Otis.
All I said, guys, was I said could it be a situation where it could be the creator, or I said could it be a situation where it is somehow like an evil or corrupted Yuga that's taken that mantle of Otis now. That's basically all I said, and like through some time travel paradox stuff, could it also be Yuga, just an evil version of Yuga now in the future? I mean, that's a possibility too. But I feel like the creator thing, assuming it's not Otis, that fits more because it seems like that's been his grand plan this whole time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is a lot to set all of this in motion across all this time. Right? We still don't know how much time is technically from Matsuba Town to Goha, right?
No, we don't.
So we don't know how much of an ancestor Yuga is.
Right.
Like it could be 200 years, it could be 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really know.
Yeah.
So either way, to do that takes an incredible amount of effort. Clearly, someone has to be pulling the strings, and I don't know. Maybe it's my bias that I just don't have enough respect for Otis.
That's fair.
To believe that's him.
That's fair.
And I more like to think that this creator is a separate character.
I can respect that thought.
I can respect either.
I can respect
like
that
both.
thought.
I can work with both.
Again, for me, a big reason why I wanted Otis to come back is because I just felt there was so much to be desired with this character, and there's a lot of people that make up good points. If you couldn't get his character to be
In 92
convincing,
episodes,
then you
Yeah.
butchered him, which is fair. I see where people are coming from, but I'm starting to. I think we're gonna look back at these two shows, and again, I speak third show. 197 days, we'll see what happens.
Possibly.
But I speak as if we're a trilogy. We really don't know. This might be a 2-show thing.
Would it blow your mind if, like, this show somehow we do get a third show, but it went an extra year? It did the normal Yugioh route? Like, would that blow your mind?
That would be surprising to me, yeah.
Yeah. But you wouldn't hate it?
I wouldn't hate it, no. I wouldn't hate it. I hate that I got so hyped up for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Announcement, and then it was just Go Rush another year, but I wouldn't hate it.
But what if they told you, like, hey, Go Rush is going another year, but there will be a Yukio 9.
that-
You just have to wait till next year.
Okay.
Totally fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Totally fine. And we should still get news on the Go Rush stuff. Everything okay?
Just maybe it's a me thing, but
It's
my stream stopped. And, like,
yes, it
ended.
did. It did.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
We
my
just got
computer
kicked out.
or we're
Stream
not.
crashed. Stream crashed for sure.
Crashed. And your end, are you good? Crashed.
I kind of had a feeling it was gonna happen.
It was like it
kept
was jumping,
stopping
but I
and
didn't know
buffering.
why.
Oh, but it's back up.
Is
Because
it?
it's is this it or
Yeah,
is this
it
live?
should be it.
So
We'll
I don't
find out.
Yeah, it's back. There's no issues on Streamlabs' end. It might be a YouTube.
You guys
thing.
could hear us, right? Like we're back, we're here.
Seems
Or
like
no.
we're back.
No,
Yes,
'cause
Dax.
I'm
Yeah, we're
playing an old episode here.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
I'm
So let me
here,
go
but
back.
like it said live, but I don't know.
Okay, let's go.
No, we're back. We're back.
We're back or we're live.
So we're all good.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
It's really
It
choppy.
kicked us
though.
out. It kicked me out
Like
of it,
it's
though.
it's extremely choppy.
Like for you guys, how bad does it look? Is it really bad? Like the video is.
It's
Some are
seems
saying it's
it's
back.
bad for
Audio's
me.
good, but visually it's lagging.
Okay. It's got to be a video thing.
Is it the, is
I mean,
it
a
that?
YouTube thing. A YouTube thing.
So like, is the audio fine for you guys? Like you could hear us fine. It's just the video's behind, or
The
both
video's
are
off,
bad?
right? You turn that video off on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
You just
that's
shut it.
off,
Okay.
Yeah.
They just asked.
No, I think it's on YouTube's end.
it might be.
Because I don't have any drop streams on Streamlabs.
I'll run internet speed on my laptop. It won't be fast, so we'll see.
It might be a YouTube issue.
Well, yeah, I'm Ethernet as
Audio's
well.
a-
Yours will be
So-
faster.
so-
I just want to see if it's really.
Thank you guys. So yeah, so you could at least hear us even if the video's lagging. We're
At the end of
sorry
the
about
day,
that.
like when it goes live, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
Like,
as long as
at
you
guys
you
can
could
hear the
hear
audio.
us.
Hopefully the
And
video.
sorry about the video.
Yeah, will figure itself out. But anyway,
Because Dylan has a million things like
that's not.
he doesn't
close.
delete any of them.
It was way worse before the old computer crash.
thank
It
God
was.
that happened.
One of my favorite side note, one of my favorite moments is Calibur's trying to get something ready for you. I forget where you were, the bathroom. or something.
Opening the wrong
He
thing.
was so aggravated live on stream because there's like 90 something.
Oh, the images.
and
Yeah.
it was one of my favorite.
There's
moments.
one we were early in Go Rush, and I unhid an image that was on my Streamlabs settings, and it was like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 34 summary, like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's, and I was like, why is this still here?
You never
sick.
clear them.
You're sick.
You make new ones.
Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, no, I kind of forget where we were. I'm just happy the stream is back up. Yeah.
They're just saying it's lagging really bad.
Right, just, if this was, whether it's going to be a trilogy or not, I think we're going to, this was the point I was going to make, I think we're going to go back and view Sevens and Go Rush almost as, like, at least I might view it as one, like, continuous project. And I've never felt that way with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Before. Like, I don't view, DM and GX is basically one show.
No,
but, like,
they're in the same universe.
because
but-
Same
Right,
universe, but they're not
continuation.
the same.
Right,
show.
but because Sevens and Go Rush are so closely related, I might look at these two shows as like one
Continuations.
entire project.
Yeah.
Like Sevens is like part 1 and Go Rush is part 2.
I
Well,
agree.
at this point, you can like they're truly connect. Like we're connected.
Especially
We're there.
if like by the end of Go Rush we look at Otis, creator, whatever it is, and
Whatever
it's
you
like,
wanna call
oh
it.
wow, and like by the end of Go Rush, like he was like actually threatening.
Right,
It all
yeah.
made sense.
It's not like Duel Monsters and GX in the sense that those two are like tangentially related because they're in the
Yes.
same. This is like these two plots are interwoven.
They're
Yeah.
interwoven. Yeah.
So like, it is. I would say
As soon as you see
continuation.
that
Yeah.
rocket ship coming down and Yuga and Yuhi and Yumu in that, you're
Yeah.
connected completely. Now.
It's interesting because there are I'm sure there are people, I don't know if there are, I'm sure there are because it's with every Yu-Gi-Oh show. There's probably a good amount of people that loved Sevens that didn't like Go Rush, dropped Go Rush, and vice versa. I actually know a couple of people
We do.
that liked Go Rush and have loved Go Rush and did not watch Sevens at all.
That's fair.
So I wonder how that, which is totally fair, absolutely, but I wonder how this decision might impact the viewing experience for them.
Rewatchability. That's what it leads to, rewatchability.
Yeah, or if you really disliked one of the shows, you just drop it entirely.
You could, but it also could. People that might have not actually watched one or the other might be more like, you know what? I'll give it a shot now since it's all connected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that happens a lot in the days now of cinematic universes.
Yeah.
Like, you're more prone to watch a movie you didn't really have any interest to because it's
Connected.
all connected.
Yep.
you know,
Right.
So you're going to watch it.
Absolutely true.
No, it's a very
It's
good
a new
point.
thing. Also, multiverses are everywhere. The Flash, Marvel did it. It's
Spider-Verse, which is
Spider-Verse
I gotta see
now.
that
Very
and
good.
Flash.
I have not seen. Flash. I feel like I need to watch the show. I feel like I'm gonna be so.
No, the movie has nothing.
Nothing to do with the show.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the new, like, not new thing, but it's
Well, no,
definitely
it's
popular right now.
much
with the
more popular,
multiverses
yeah,
and everything.
mixing
And
and
I
match.
think Yu-Gi-Oh is doing their
Yeah,
take on it.
makes
Okay,
sense.
we're talking legitimate theories here. Can I say something that that probably
Oh,
you
okay.
guys will think is cracked out of the world?
It's your show.
I love-
Okay.
yeah.
So
Okay.
say-
Rip it.
So we're in the card world, right?
Okay.
And we see all these Yu-Gi-Oh cards that lead to different rooms
Oh, here
that
you
can
go.
possibly
I know where he's going with this.
lead to different worlds, right?
Yep.
Because we see them go into the future, into the Sevens world.
Yes.
Who's not to say that behind one of those cards is
wrote
the
this down.
door to Link Vrains? Who's not
Yeah.
to say that behind one of those cards is
Someone
the
literally
door
said as
to Neo Domino City? Who's not to
I
say
would love it,
that
but
behind
it'll
one of
never
those
happen.
cards is not the door
honestly
to the astral world?
it would be
I
it
think-
would be the coolest thing that I've seen in
It's-
anime.
it's almost-
ever.
It's the only,
It's not gonna
It's
happen.
almost impossible just because the two different studios,
I
the
know.
different art
No,
styles.
you wouldn't have
I don't
the-
even know how that would work.
You wouldn't be
in terms
allowed
of,
to do it.
Like, I guess rights it would be fine because overall it's
Konami,
owned by
yeah.
Konami. But like,
It
I
would
mean,
be.
you want to talk about
It'd be cool.
adding the extra year?
Oh my
and having
God.
That
some-
would do it.
This would make
But-
this a
yeah,
4-year
yeah.
show.
I
The only
mean,
way you can connect it.
It's
like,
just
you gotta
that
do
that's pie in the sky.
I will say this: out of all the established ways the universe works in this bridge Yu-Gi-Oh, this would be the one that would point those ways,
Right.
right? There's
Absolutely.
nothing else like, oh, maybe the hyperspace could, but right now it just seems like it's time travel.
Right.
These are basically dimensional doors.
They can very easily explain it that way. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
If there's anything
Stream
established in
crashed
this
again.
world, that would be the one to take.
Stream
it.
crashed again.
Yeah, stream died.
God damn
It's
it!
got to be the computer.
Yeah, I mean, if there was any issues with Streamlabs...
I know, it's not saying it's stream. Oh, no, you have frame drop. 12,000.
Oh, that's pretty normal for me.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, and then it's back again. So it's just it's
Weird.
jumping in and out. Do you think it's a better idea to end it and make a two-parter, even though I know you hate doing that?
No, let me see.
What could it be? Check your...
Is...
Did I cut out as well? I said.
Keep going. Go back on your rant. Keep going. You definitely start from the beginning.
Yes, if nobody heard it, I will say this: that out of all the established mechanics, out of all the way the world works, the universe works in Bridge Yu-Gi-Oh, this would be the one that would lead to those places.
Yeah, I get it.
These are
It
dimensional
would be.
doors.
It'd be really cool. Let's be honest. It'd be really cool in a hypothetical world.
Right.
It's just
I just like
you don't have the time. You don't have the time.
time is the restraint.
You have so many plot points you want to hit.
There's some
It's
issues
YouTube.
with video streaming. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So it seems to be on
Um,
YouTube's end.
Sorry.
You sure it's not phaser? Someone said. That'd be really confusing.
Ooh,
Is he, you think he's a,
well, I mean, listen, we have maybe suggested that Phaser and Tremolo were
We did.
created by the creator, so it wouldn't, I don't know.
I'm gonna run a poll.
Otis.
I am Dak. Yes.
You know, another
Wow,
thing.
that's a classic right there. Blame Lightning?
Blame Lightning.
Wow.
Honestly.
Classic.
And that's who was in the spaceship. It's Lightning.
Oh, that would be awful.
Lightning in the spaceship.
That'd be.
Didn't you do you did a one for GX recently, right? It was a short where it was like overrated, underrated, perfectly
Yes.
rated characters.
Yeah, I did that on Tuesday. Yeah.
I thought about it with Vrains because I watched that GX
I
one.
feel like you're about to say something.
No.
I'm gonna do it for Vrains
I
as well.
I really hope when it comes to Lightning, I mean, you could do whatever you want. I think he's perfectly rated.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanted to
There
say
we go.
that.
Yes,
I
there we
think he's
go.
a great character.
He did, yes.
He's a great villain.
He's an awful
Lightning.
villain. Like he's a horrible creation.
What I've said about
I love
Lightning
it.
is he is the only villain in the last 3 Yu-Gi-Oh shows, not including Go Rush, that would crack my top 10 villains.
He also,
Oh, yeah.
you could argue in some ways,
No one
for
from-
the most part, he kind of sort of won. like in the end, yes, I was defeated, but like,
But he got Eye to turn. He
got eye
proved
to,
his
got
point.
eye, yeah, got eye to turn, and
humans
ultimately, well, if I couldn't succeed, then he killed everything.
he was
So new
fantastic.
hashtag, Lightning was right.
No, I mean...
hey, this guy's thinking.
Lightning was fantastic, but no, what I do with that is I put about 15 to 20, relevant characters in like a an image randomizer thing. Click a button and then it spits out one of those images, and then I say whether I think they're underrated or
Yeah, I like
overrated.
that.
I like
Yeah, it's
that.
cool. So I'm going to do that with all the other shows, but no, Lightning was a very good villain. If this is Lightning, I think our
We got
friends
some
might be in
issues.
some trouble. we got bigger issues.
If it's lightning, yeah, we're
Yeah, like
we're
they're
done.
they're
We got
dead.
bigger issues.
I mean, it's probably over.
Humanity's in trouble.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just think that it's never going to happen, but
No.
like there's a
It's fun to think about.
chance
There's a
that like
0.00001% chance.
Yeah.
I'll give it one.
it's
10,000
cool enough. This is
1%.
something that I've always wanted to see. Like I remember when maybe not Arc 5, but I remember when like GX ended, I was like, oh man, I kind of want to know what's next for them. Dual Monsters felt conclusive, and we
Yes,
had Dark
very
Side of
much so.
Dimensions to kind of sum that up.
watched that movie. I watched that
5D's ending, not seeing really like you say is like future. You see all the characters after the minor time skip. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
I'd like to see what happened to them. We don't really see that. And then like Zexel, it leaves on a huge cliffhanger. Would have loved to see what happened there. Arc 5. And then, like, with how Brains ended, it's like I would have loved to see, like, what would have happened next with I waking up. And I remember everyone was like, we'll see I again. We'll see the Brains characters again. And then they switched studios. So, like, with almost every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Spinoff, I've always wanted to see a continuation, a continued story. That's why I got so excited with Go Rush, because it seemed like it was going to be a sequel with all the variants and variations. It seemed like it was going to be 10, 20 years into the future after Seven's events ended. And now we're just picking up right where it left off. It's an interquel.
Yeah, it's an interquel.
Yeah.
They kind of... It's technically in the past, but then we're also in the future.
Right. So this
It
is like
really
this is something that I've just always wanted with a Yu-Gi-Oh show,
It's fun.
and I love it.
Oh
but
yeah, it's cool.
I do want to touch on.
Can I say one thing for you guys?
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
think the one way to maybe satisfy what you want without going overboard is you could have a real easy, quick fan service thing of them jumping between card worlds.
And then
do
accidentally running into somebody.
You don't even have them run into a character.
Just
you just
the
have
world.
them flash through Neo Domino City. You have them like that's it.
I'd
Like
lose my
like 3
shit.
seconds. You don't see any characters,
That would be
but
insane on
you
its own.
know it's
Yeah.
that city,
Yeah.
and it's just more like a hey. Here's
Yeah.
a thank you for being a Yu-Gi-Oh fan for all these years.
That would
we
be
just
pretty
threw you a
sick.
bone.
I fully agree with
That
you.
I could see more happen.
I'd lose my shit. And that's something that I think, as to your point, is reasonable because you don't have to show any of the characters from the past shows. You don't have to show. You don't have to
the
hire
city.
any voice actors.
See Dual Academy?
That's
like,
it.
it's just
Oh,
like...
that'd
You
be
just
so
see
cool.
like
Into the
Ray
Brain
Domino,
Dual Academy,
and you
yeah,
see
bro,
nothing in
just-
particular, but you see some D wheels just driving. No,
Right.
no in particular. You have no.
That'd
idea
be-
what's
okay.
going on. Boom! It cuts out.
or
and then
even
you
the
drop
bridge.
somewhere
The
else.
bridge.
The
at
bridge
Neo
alone
Domino
would
City.
sell
Yeah.
it. Or how about this?
That'd be
You don't even
crazy.
see it. You just the audio plays of that sound of a D wheel makes.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all you
That's
need.
it.
Just
And
the
it's just
audio
like,
of
hey,
the like it's
We
speeding
know
up.
Yeah.
you're going to theorize about this, but we're actually not going to do anything at this. We were just doing a little fan service thing. And
If they
that's
did
it.
that, it would be, I think, probably the coolest fan service ever in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
That we've ever seen.
To touch on all the old worlds in a new show from a new what's it? What it? Galvin Bridge or what are the different
studio.
New studio to
Yeah.
do would be really like
Yeah. Well, listen, I'll tell you, the team at Sevens and now for Go Rush, they've paid great, I think, tribute. I mean, I did a video, 5 times Rush Yu-Gi-Oh! Referenced 5Ds.
Yes.
I mean, they've paid great homage to the older shows.
agree. They've
and-
done a good
and
job.
They have done a really good job with handling the IP.
Wow.
So I want to talk about something that, maybe is more on a bit of a negative side. Doesn't have to be on a negative side, but something that might be a little bit of a concern. Very, very slightly. How are you guys worried at all that this might it might detract from the current story that we were in with Phaser wanting to know his secret, with UDS because UDS is now kind of just MIA for a bit. Do you think the timing of this is weird at all? Like, would this have been better at the beginning of an arc? Because this arc supposedly is going to end in 4 episodes.
I don't believe that.
I can't believe
I
that.
can't imagine it is.
But what do you guys? I mean, what do you guys think about that? I wouldn't. It's not concerning for me, but I could see it from a pacing issue being maybe.
if the arc is ending in 4 episodes, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it does detract from where we were going. If it doesn't, not at all. I think it in a roundabout way will circle back, reconnect,
Yeah.
and everything. All the pieces will fit perfectly.
yeah,
There is a worry that if the arc does end, it might feel rushed.
yeah.
I was gonna say they could just connect this. Why
They could-
can't you?
They could, but
Yeah.
they usually do pretty hard cuts on arcs. it
True, they
seems.
do.
Yeah.
But I hope that's not the case.
The only time we didn't really see that is we got an end, but not a hard end, was literally in Sevens. We went from the Goa siblings, and then we kind of sort of solved that with Yugioh,
And
but
then
we
went
still
more.
had them extremely present as we built up to Goha Yugioh.
Yep.
So they were still very much in those 2 arcs part of the story. I feel like you could do that here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I am a little worried in the sense that Tremolo has not only been defeated, but it has been imprisoned, not carded, but imprisoned. If you just have Phaser lose in the next few episodes, while we're literally in a different time right now, we're in the Sevens world. I feel like we've had some nice momentum with him this arc, and I feel like that could get a little rough unless they do it in a perfect way. So to me, rolling that over would be better.
Yeah,
Because we're dealing with such huge concepts right now. To me, it's not, as a viewer, it's not that important to go, all right, guys, we're at the end of the arc. We have to have this final duel. We don't.
I
kinda
really
like
hope
where
they
we're
don't.
going with
I
this.
agree.
You know?
Fully agree. You know what's funny too? We talked about the Sevens timeline not seeming like it was destroyed at all because it seems like Yuga comes back and nothing really bad happens. But now we know for a fact. First of all, we don't know who's in the rocket ship. Now we know for a fact that 2 people from the past, Yuumu and Yuhi, are now going to be, in some way, it might be minor, but interfering in the future world.
Yes.
This timeline is annihilated.
It's very dangerous.
It's annihilated.
We're living on the edge. It's about to be the butterfly effect.
So
all
I'm
over.
very fascinated to see what happens there, and if Yuhi and Yuumu meet Yuga's mom, I mean that's another
the
Odo.
only saving grace, to be totally honest, that they have is
Yeah.
their cats.
Right.
Yeah.
So their imprint in affecting the timeline might be very minimal because of that.
We
And
hope.
I
That's
also
our only hope.
I also wonder if they're going to be able to interact with the humans, because obviously they can interact and talk to each other, but I've seen that plenty of times. And actually, I think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Remember when Tristan became a monkey?
Oh my
and he
God.
couldn't actually speak to the other
Yeah.
characters? We've seen that in Yu-Gi-Oh!
feel like we
before.
could see that.
So because the three of them are cats, they might not be able to speak to Luke, Roman, Gakuto, whoever might show up here. And
No,
that
it's gonna be now.
that
We
would
already
be
had that conversation. Nail should show up.
He's been criminally underused in Go Rush.
well, his variant is
I mean, we haven't seen that man.
His
at
variant, I believe, is getting a duel in the manga right now. So he's actually being
great.
yeah,
Good
he's,
for
Okay,
him.
good for
all. At
him.
least he's getting something.
yeah, he's getting something. I think I'm not 100. I don't follow the manga too much, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's going to be exciting. I mean, it's funny because I knew we would spend the whole podcast talking about what happened at
that's
the end,
fair.
but it's
Yeah.
huge. I mean,
That's
this
all I
is-
need to talk about.
It's
There's
the-
nothing else to talk about.
Nothing insane happened
no, and
besides
it's,
that.
it's the continuation of a Yu-Gi-Oh show that
that we did a
good comedy.
podcast on
Yeah.
every single episode. Like we
Right.
analyze we
Absolutely,
to see
yeah.
this is very just exciting. It just
It's very
you know,
exciting.
brings
Yeah.
back all those memories.
It does. It does. Anyone you want to see here in Seven's World, Pete?
Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
my
it's
boy.
got- yeah.
I want to see him. His variant obviously hasn't been around for a long time. He had one arc. Luke's my guy. Like I want to see him. He was going through a really tough time when we last left him in Sevens.
Yeah.
And he just got hope that his best friend had returned, and that might not be the case. So I really want to see what that does to him, and I just feel bad.
You know what's screwed up too? We've
screwed
had
up?
for 61 episodes, we as the viewer have had this safety blanket in the back of my head. All right, well we know for a fact this is the safety blanket. At least we know for a fact that Yuga makes it back to his timeline. That safety blanket is gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Well, we'll find out soon if
I mean,
whatever it is.
assuming this isn't Yuga in the ship,
Oh,
we're not sure now if he makes it back to his timeline.
that would really change the ending of Seven.
Oh,
Like
the
it
ending of
really.
Sevens is completely changed.
We
Yeah.
watch it, reaction to it, just crying because we know
We know it's coming.
He
He's
could get stuck
coming.
there.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, it's nuts.
Wow,
it's
that's-
it's nuts. What if like it's insane and like the character that is in the rocket ship is from the future,
Okay.
and we never get a name for the character, and maybe we don't really see him too much, and then we learn that he's the protagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! 9.
I mean, that would.
I mean,
Oh my god!
I mean, you want to talk about the
What?
big brain stuff that they
Oh.
be
What
doing?
are
That'd
you
be crazy.
talking about?
yeah, I lost him.
No, I'm with
Well,
them
no,
on that
Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 was in the future.
one. Yu-Gi-Oh! 9's the future.
Right.
Sevens is the present. Go Rush is the past.
Right. That
Which
would be
is
the format.
so
Yeah.
It'd be
confusing
cool.
because
Yeah.
the present would be the 7th show, but the past would be the 8th show, and that.
Yeah, but there's part of the
Yeah.
8th show that now is the future as well.
Yeah,
the
it would-
7th
it would
show.
be
This
a
is why
mess.
it's getting a
It's
mess.
getting
It's getting messy.
confusing. And
Yeah.
that's why you need to tune in every week for us to break
That's
it down.
that's
for
good.
you.
No, that's
but you know
he's
what?
sick.
You know what this
He's
also. You know what this also creates, right?
What's that?
A paradox.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Timeline Part 3.
No.
And now
We're
it doesn't
back.
include
No.
any of Gallop. You just do
Okay,
a
that's-
video
that's fair.
solely
That's fair.
to when the 9th show is over to figure out
Wow.
the Rush timeline.
That's okay.
Well,
that's
actually,
all
that
right.
would make sense because if I ever do another, and I'm
you
not
could
saying I
explain it for
will.
all the people who haven't watched
Right.
it. I think that could be a fun video.
No, I agree. And if I ever do another timeline, my stance on where the Gallop shows and mangas are will never change unless we get new piece of information, which I doubt.
Right.
So it would only
Right,
be
so there's
updating
nothing
the
to
Rush.
rehash there. So
Yeah.
now you could do a whole new one on the
Well,
Rush
yeah, the
video.
Rush Yu-Gi-Oh timeline explained.
And it would
Yeah.
actually have some credence to it because it wouldn't just be as much of a theory.
It's not
as
really theory
You
crafting, it's
helping
logically-
people
right.
explain how confusing this timeline is.
I might even do that when Go Rush ends, honestly.
Yeah.
Can't do it now because we're going to get more pieces
Yeah.
to it. And like, that's the thing that's so funny because if Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 really is a trilogy, the announcements of the characters that we get at Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 might like theory craft like how Go Rush is going to end, you know?
Could.
So that's like super cool as
Hopefully
well.
we'll not get that spoiled.
No, I'm
I'll
sure they'll be
hold off
careful
on
with
that.
it. Yeah.
down.
I mean, they released the silhouettes for the Ryugu brothers in December, and they didn't even show up till April.
Yeah.
So they're very good about that.
Yeah.
To their credit. I guess we'll take some super chats, donations. I'm sure people are. Oh,
yeah.
by the way, we might not have a duel next week, so there's no duel to pick. I don't know
Thank
if we have a
gosh.
duel.
That's fine.
The 62 summary is interesting because it confirms that someone is running into Yuga, Yuumu, and Yuhi, We just don't know who that someone is.
It's
So
It's gonna be like the worst person.
Yep.
it could be.
It's gonna be Hunt.
No,
we don't
That
know
would
that.
be the best person.
Hey,
No.
what happens if it's Hunt?
What are you gonna do?
Dude.
I don't think I ever made. I think I made something if the Hunt variant showed up. I don't
Yeah, but
think I
no.
ever-
You don't lose any bet. I think
just want you to
on the
watch.
live reaction, it would be great to loop
So you'd
your
be
face
like,
of what
You know
that
who
would
could
be.
show up? Nick Yagi.
That would be worse.
That would be a kick in the nuts if he shows up.
That basically would be Bridge just giving you the middle finger.
Well, and as I've said before,
Yeah.
I would feel less disrespected if someone from Bridge flew to New Jersey, slashed the tires on my car, and then flew back to Japan.
then if
I'd
they
feel
do that.
less disrespected than them putting Nick Yagi in a scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm serious.
Never forget
Come
when
on,
Nick T and I won that bet.
I'll never
Dude, that-
forget
the last
a
possible moment.
a panning shot of Nick Yagi on
Nothing was
episode.
ever better.
Yeah, it was. He was looking down in the
Right,
pit.
it was in the background. Yeah, son of a.
That was
Unbelievable.
too good.
But you know what? They made it up to me by putting the Jersey Devils in the
That's
Go
true.
Rush.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So-
which I was also for, by the
Yes,
way.
they give and they take. So I appreciate that. Do we have any donations?
Oh, we got.
Want to thank all of
we
you
got
guys
plenty.
for being
I
here.
think you need to go to the donation.
Sorry
Yeah,
there
start us
were some issues
Yeah, there's
with
a
the
lot of
stream. We apologize for that. Hopefully the audio is good now.
You should have like.
Seems like it's been good for a bit
Yeah,
now.
Good,
that's good.
good.
Yeah.
Crystal Colden, thank you for the $3.30 donation. Amount is because I watched the episode and spotted 33 cat puns from every cat.
Wow.
Counted.
Poor.
There was a lot.
Yeah, I believe it
Poor-
was
poor
Yona.
Entame
Who,
subs,
yeah, the
yeah.
Entame subs team. I think Yona did the translations for this one. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was
Oh.
some funny ones.
Oh, yeah, it
No,
was
no,
funny.
there were,
It
but
was
all of
funny.
those cat puns. Also, we do want to say as well, it was posted on the Entame Subs Tumblr page. We are keeping Aura's mom in our thoughts and prayers, obviously. She was in a car accident, as stated on that Tumblr page. So, we'll keep her in our thoughts and prayers.
Of course.
And hopefully she makes a very speedy recovery. And
Absolutely.
as always, a thank you to the wonderful Entame Subs team for subbing the episodes because, again, they do it for free. And if they didn't do it, we wouldn't be a thing. So
Unless one of us can learn Japanese.
She does have a link though that you can help
a
support the
Ko-Fi
other.
link. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
a Ko-Fi link on the Tumblr page. So if you want to support them,
Yeah, please
I
do.
please do. I
Yes,
highly
please.
recommend it. Absolutely. Crystal, thank you for counting. Jarek, thank you for the $5 donation. Just finished watching episode 61, and today I learned the word Interquel exists. It's also my birthday, so I find it funny how I'm the one donating. All right, we'll do a quick one.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jarek. Happy birthday to you.
There it is.
Jarek, thank you so much.
It went so much better if we
With the
all
speed.
just timed
When
it.
we're virtual, we can't
No,
do
we
it.
just got to
The
time it.
virtual's hard.
No, it's the virtual.
You just got to time it.
No, because there's a delay.
The
I don't
virtual,
agree.
yeah, he would.
You don't
yeah.
agree with it? It's
I don't agree with
virtual.
you. I agree with you. Let's agree.
But I
to
love when
disagree.
you count it off and then go at a speed different.
Of course
than
he
the
does.
count off.
It's
It's amazing.
Of course.
What?
When you count
Well-
like 1, 2, and then you do it's a different speed.
Yeah, he counts fast
There's
and he
no
goes
point.
slow.
There's no point in counting and then singing at a
It
different
is true.
speed.
It is very true.
Jerry, thank you, my man. I appreciate it. Interquel. Yes, a lot of people didn't know that word. I didn't know it until today either. I'm not going to
Oh,
lie.
same. I know. the words.
I believe midquel is also a word to
It is.
describe
It's
it.
another. It's a synonym.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank gosh we didn't use that.
No, midquel.
Midness is also a good one too.
Rita, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I appreciate you, Rita. This is actually really, really fascinating. Since we're on the topic of the timeline, if Seven's World will come to Duel Links this September,
Oh,
which
that's
is the
before.
rumor,
That was before
show.
you. Yeah.
what part of the anime do you think the characters will be based off of, especially since Go Rush is airing? What Duel Links has been doing is they've been doing it when the show ends. But with Sevens, it's tricky. I think they're going to do it right after Yuga and Otis duel happens. They have 2 years before Go Rush comes, and they start building the story.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
that.
honestly.
I think
That's a
they
good
have
job.
to
I
do
think
it.
that works.
But if they do that, that means that Yuga wouldn't be in it, which would be weird. They'd have to treat Luke like the main character, which
I mean, he
for
was.
parts of it he felt
He
like
was
it.
the main.
He was.
Yeah, I mean, for parts of it, yeah.
For a good
For
percentage.
most
Come
of the
on.
show. Yeah, he
Come
was.
on, though. Come on.
Let's be
Don't
real.
lie.
For the second season, it felt that way. I don't know about the first season. The second season.
They
yes.
shared. They shared.
Well, he was the deuteragonist. I fully agree with that, yeah.
We're not getting into it. How about that?
All right.
Yikes! Jesus Christ. Yeah, well,
It's a sensitive topic.
wow. And
It's okay. All we got to remember is where he ranked him in best duels. Number 4.
Yeah.
Yes, when the show was still in its infancy.
Right. I ranked him 1, right?
You did rank him 1. I would agree with you now. But when the show was in its infancy...
Would you say I was more like I had foresight? Like I could see
In that
it?
instance, sure, yes.
But
But
only in that instance.
when I ranked him in that moment, he only had cupcake wins. It
Right.
wasn't
in your
until-
mind. What I see is potential.
Well,
I
it
see,
worked out.
I see skill.
Yeah, and he's number 1. He's the best duelist in Sevens.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying it now. I was wrong when I made that. At the time, I'll defend it, but I was wrong. No worries. Angie, thank you for the very generous $20 donation. Thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate you. For the cost of a movie ticket plus a small popcorn, better than the Cats musical.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable episode for an episode that I thought was going to be a silly breather. Well, Go Rush really said, psych! Yeah, I didn't see the Cats musical. Nick T, you saw it.
No,
right?
no. I think she's mentioning the Cats musical, which was a movie.
It's both.
And it. Oh no, you're right. There's a cat, but I think she wrote a
the
date on
movie.
there. The 2019 was that movie that
That was
came
with
out
Jason Derulo.
about-
Yes.
I actually
yeah.
think
The
he
movie
was
I think
in
was
that.
rough. They said.
It was.
And it's also
so-
James Corden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
So I actually have something to tell you. I actually saw the Cats play once.
Oh.
Oh, you know, I heard that's pretty good.
I remember sitting through the first half when we go to intermission, and I'm just looking at the time my ex-girlfriend's dad, and I go, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
I was so It was just.
It's rough.
It's you really have to be a fan and understand what's happening to know.
Have you ever sat, besides that one, have you ever sat through a play that everyone's like, this is critically acclaimed, this is amazing, and I sit there and I'm like, this is kind of dog
we
water.
just
Yeah.
I'm like-
So I used to go to.
I'm like, maybe I'm missing the mark of the art, but like
I've
this
seen,
is not great.
I saw
Yeah.
Wicked. The Newsies was again. That's
I
what
like
people
Newsies
people
good.
loved them. That was great. What if was really cool. And I saw
still love
Aladdin.
Hamilton.
Aladdin was cool.
I like
Hamilton.
I got to
was
catch up on that show. What if?
We're all caught
I,
up.
I'm not caught up on
what
it.
are you
Season 2
talking
didn't
about?
come out
Oh,
till
what are you-
this year.
There's
Talking
actually
about
a
Good try,
musical that is called What If.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, just continue.
What if I knew that? Gamesy Jake.
Swear to God.
Thank you.
Oh, God, that was bad.
I hope the smoke gets to me.
I'm waiting for it.
That's tough.
Gamesy Jake, thank you for the 300 bits over on Twitch. My theory is it's Udius, Otis, or Yugioh. So we talked about how
Yeah.
could be Udius or Yugioh.
Doesn't
That
matter.
would be shocking.
If
to
it was
me.
I would be
Yugioh,
shocked.
that would blow
Yugioh's
my
more
mind.
believable to me than Udius, though.
Yeah.
Because there's always been something
I don't
weird
even know
about
how those
Yugioh.
would work, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't either. I don't either. But Yugioh...
Like, if it ends up being Yugioh, which it's not going to be, but if it was, I'm working for him. I don't care how it's possible. I got to figure out how to join this universe inside the show here. That's it. He's God at that point.
Yeah, I look
wrong.
at... I also like to look at motivations, and I don't know if he... Because his conflict is solved right now,
Yeah.
I don't
He's
think
chilling.
he has the motivation to go to Seven's World.
Yeah.
But, like,
I don't know.
I still love that he came into this arc,
said something was disturbing him.
just smacked up
Yeah.
Manabu real quick, and then just dipped.
Yeah, that's
Like, I just love that.
He is AFK.
I just love
When
that.
our characters, when Yumu gets
Yeah.
carded, he is AFK, and they made note to mention that, like, oh yeah, he's out on a mission right now.
Yeah.
So, could it be him? I don't know how it would work.
He's the perfect word I would describe for him. He's a maverick. Like
Yeah.
he literally
Yeah.
just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He's so good at it. He just comes in when he feels like it.
Yeah.
Smacks somebody up, dips for like 2 arcs.
Yeah. He's like the
This
guy
is
like
crazy.
in Top Gun. You'd want him flying the plane.
100%. He is maverick.
that's
Yeah,
Maverick
I like
is
that.
a dog.
I know it. I'm letting him just have it.
You were gonna let him
I'm
have
letting
it? Okay.
let him have it.
I thought you were talking about like a
I'm letting you have
maverick.
it. I'm letting you have it. I haven't been here in a while. I'm letting you have it.
You're good, man.
Yeah, you're better than man than I was.
All right. Well, listen. No, he's Yugioh's great. That'll be fascinating for sure. Limestone, thank you for the $2 donation. Kind of reminded me of the spirit world in the earlier seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! What kind of world would you guys like to be in? Pokemon world.
Yeah,
In the Poke-
in a heartbeat.
Oh, like in terms of anime?
Yeah.
there's a few worlds I'd live in, so I'm gonna go
Pokemon or the Attack on Titan world.
No, you wouldn't. You're so messed up.
No way you would live there.
Wait, actually,
No.
I can spoil you, but I won't say it.
Pokemon Fire Force isn't bad because it's normal besides the spontaneous combustion that happens to people at random. But like that,
What?
But the rarity of that, it's like getting struck by lightning, right? It's pretty rare.
No, spontaneous combustion is not rare. It's actually pretty common. That's the problem.
In the real world.
Fire Force?
Oh, in Fire Force.
What do you mean in the real world? No one's spontaneously.
I can't do it.
Oh, it's-
Right?
Do you have any mismatch?
I would say it's
I
a
usually
non-
you help me. You're not helping me. I can't do
a
that.
non-zero chance that you could spontaneously combust in this world.
You know, I'm gonna be honest here. If I could pick like what I am,
Yeah.
I kind of want to join the JJK world.
Oh, and
I
be a
just wanna-
jiu-jitsu
I just
sorcerer?
kind of want to just.
Dylan would be
I think
terrified.
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
you'd be scared, but like I think it'd be.
You would. He's right.
It'd be a lot of fun.
He's right.
I don't know.
But there's crazy people in that
Yeah,
world.
but you're saving the other people. You're protecting.
Okay,
the
if
world,
I had like
you know.
the,
No, I'm not talking. I'm the regular waiter at the cafe where like I know something's wrong. but
Caliber
I
didn't
can't-
remember that
He didn't
scene.
remember that scene because he didn't watch season 1. But it's I
So
can't.
toxic. Oh Jesus.
Like if I could be a sorcerer and not a regular person, that's what I want to do. I think it'd be a lot of
He's
fun.
not wrong.
Yeah.
I would.
Pokemon's the generic
100%
safe
Pokemon.
pick. Yeah.
That'd be so. I would love that.
I'm trying to think of another one.
I mean, Love is War would be a fun place to live.
yeah, I mean, I didn't
I
watch
could
the
just
show.
hang out there.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
You'd be vibing.
I would.
I'd be vibing.
What's another? And I watched enough
Kakiguri,
anime.
you're probably picking.
No.
He's sick.
Oh, I got.
Would you pick My Hero Academia?
If I was a hero and I had a quirk, yeah, that'd be.
Look at what happened
That'd
in
be
the last
sick.
season. No
I'd
way.
still be in it.
See,
No
see,
way.
here's
Bro,
my
I
thing.
ha-
Here's my thing. It feels like you're scared to enter all these worlds.
Yeah.
Like
Pokemon, he's like, I won't
even
die.
in Pokemon, bad stuff happens. Like
But
none
not-
of these
not on
worlds
that level.
are great.
No, Pokemon, the worst that happens is like,
Ash died.
yeah, but that was
What?
like, that was because he was
Oh,
the
okay.
main character. I'd be like a waiter.
Why are you
So
a
that's all-
waiter?
See, you're not. So that's the thing. See, now we got to the root of it. You're not aspiring to be anything of worth.
He just wants to be in the
wanna
world.
be some.
Hey,
monk
Dill.
in
Go
the
to Attack on
middle-
Titan.
No,
Go to
I-
Attack
no,
on Titan and have fun.
I'm trying to think of what world can I live a mundane life in where I don't have
That's,
to.
that's not the point.
That's
of the
not the
exercise.
point of
That's
the
ridiculous.
question.
You're living the mundane life now. Why would you want to do that somewhere else?
I'm very happy with my life, so I'm happy with the mundane. I'm happy with
So
it.
you're like, you know what?
I
I'm
don't wanna
really
be
happy
a-
where I am. I want to do the exact same thing I'm doing, but I also kind of like want to turn on the TV and see a Pokemon.
No, in
movie.
Pokemon, you could go to tournaments. You could maybe catch one. Like it'd be fun.
You know those tickets are $800. You're not going to those.
I work overtime at the restaurant.
You've never been a waiter. Why do you have to be a waiter in this scenario? You've never been a waiter.
That's a fair point, actually.
Why do is that your fantasy? Is being a waiter?
No, it's not my fantasy.
I don't know.
I think they work very hard, waiters.
I didn't say they didn't work.
Who said they didn't
Guys, you're throwing.
All right, next-
you better
next
switch.
photo.
Remember when
You're green donuts.
You didn't remember Calibro was a waiter, remember?
Calibro wasn't a waiter. I know
He
that.
did the catering
I
service.
just don't believe it. No, because I asked him for pay stubs and he didn't provide it.
Who are you, the IRS? Why would you have to do that?
Oh,
Crystal Colden,
holy
thank you for the 888 Go Rush donation. Appreciate you, Crystal. Cauldron in front. This episode combines a Yuki win, adorable kittens, the free reference images for my art, and unanswered questions to make boom. A
Ooh,
perfect episode. Love the pun.
Love that.
Yeah,
Good pun.
it was cute, as Nick T, I believe you described it that way. It was cute. It was fun, and then of course we got the craziness at the
Yes.
end. So for people like that are crazy like me,
And me.
and you,
Yeah.
and really all of us, we love that ending. And for someone that just kind of likes the adorableness, maybe you're a cat lover, I'm sure you love the episode as well.
I also love how Bochi was just a dog.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Well, you say it
He was like a
both.
cat dog.
Yeah, but like
There's a show called Cat
all
Dog.
he literally did was meow.
Yeah, that's
That
all
was-
I did.
Otherwise, he was still Bochi.
I think he had extra cat whiskers.
If your cat
might
had that deep of a meow, would that creep you out?
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to sleep. Meow.
Yeah, because at that point, I'm thinking that the cat is gonna acquire the ability to speak to me, and that would really freak me out.
Yeah.
I mean, like people talk about that, right? Like, oh, if I could talk to my pet. But if you came home one day with no warning and your pet
So, dude.
started talking to you,
I-
there's no way you wouldn't have a mental breakdown.
No, yeah, I'd be like, I'm losing it.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like you could judge. You come home and your cat just walked out of the room and was like, "What's up? How was work?" You would think you literally inhaled too much smoke on the way in.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't believe.
That was high as yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
couldn't tell anyone. Like, what if it was only your cat?
Oh,
People would
God.
put you in an insane asylum. They wouldn't believe you.
Yeah. Well, it's why if you're like let's say you're a president and you have an experience where
what's
you
this
you
going
see
on?
something paranormal or like a ghost,
Well, yeah.
you can't talk about that. You
No.
can't say it.
I thought you were gonna go the aliens route, but that was
Well, that too.
I mean, he said paranormal.
But
He's
why a
right.
president?
Someone with like a position of power where you have to like kind of be a bit of
You
a
have to
public-
lie.
public
You have to
figure.
lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I get what
Is that
you're
you're going with?
Yes.
No, now I
was
get
waiting
it.
for
Now I
that.
get it.
lie by omission. Angie, thank you for the $2 donation.
Well,
Selena Gomez said it best. Everything is not
Oh,
what
and
all right.
there it starts.
Yeah,
to
Selena
go.
Gomez did me in. Everything is not what it seems.
You were
Yuga
already
ship
gone.
landing. Is it truly Yuga? I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it's Yuga.
It's
What's
not,
that,
it's not the version of
that
you that we
Angie
remember.
No.
No, that's for sure.
Whose genre was that? Was that Angie's?
Angie, thank you so much. I would have sang the whole thing, but my voice. Everything is not what it seems if you can and the power from the simplest of things.
Dylan?
I think that might have been right.
That
That was
actually.
not.
Yeah.
It's not
Too
that you
far.
weren't a good singer. It's your throat started...
Everything is. Okay, let me. Sorry.
What
that
it
was rude.
seems. It's a banger, though. No, it is a banger.
It's a certified banger. Yes.
certified.
And you missed this, Pete? Pete, did you miss this at all? Like, even a little bit? Like, even like 5%?
I mean, sometimes yeah, and sometimes no, but that was good.
Yeah, that was good.
Jake, I want to thank you
what's
for
going on up
600
here,
more bits over on Twitch. Jake, thank you so much. Maybe the creator is Otis's past self or evil Udius. We've theorized. We haven't really gotten into too many creator theories. Maybe outside
It
of
could
him
be
being
creator.
Otis.
That would be
Like an evil variant of Udius, I'd be here for, but they'd
I
have
don't
to
know how-
explain
they'd
it.
have to explain
they'd have to
it.
explain
They
it.
have to do some
That's
heavy
him
legwork.
explaining.
Yeah,
doo-doo.
because Udius is so pure-hearted, so it's
Hard to
it's
make
not
him
like
what
Yugioh
happened.
I could see because Yugioh has those tendencies, but like
Yugioh's got
Udius,
issues.
yeah, or even like again, probably the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist that I could most see having like a villainous turn is honestly like Yusaku. It was always Yusaku because he had such a rough upbringing, and I could see,
And
but
then
like.
everything still ends really shitty for
Right,
him.
for him
Yeah,
and
of
brains.
course.
But like he's the one that like if it happened I'd be like, okay, it can make sense under the right circumstances. All the other ones though are so pure of heart, it's tough for me to
Well,
envision it without outside interference. Obviously
so
we've
you
seen
consider when
I never seen
when
it.
no I don't think you do when Yugi has the Pharaoh, like
Yeah,
that's outside interference too because the Pharaoh was not a really great person.
not early on, no. No, you're right. No,
No.
yeah, right. I'm thinking of Little Yugi. Atem was a little
Yeah, he was pure of heart,
Yeah.
little Yugi.
Yeah.
he was like
Yeah,
a legitimate good person.
yeah. We've seen it with Dark Zexel. Yeah, I mean with outside interference you can see that with the protagonist, but like for it to be a variant of Udius, that'd be interesting. But they'd have to do a good job of explaining it, I think. Otis's past self, that could work. That would basically mean it's Otis. It's just Otis in the past. It's before
Otis competing against Otis.
Yeah, it's just Otis. Yeah, but I like it. Listen,
So now Otis that we knew becomes the hero to defeat the Otis that we hate.
that we
created.
thought we knew. Yeah,
Wow. He's onto something.
and the
Let him
final
cook.
duel
Let him
is
cook.
Otis versus the creator.
Who's basically Otis.
Yeah,
I think I might.
That might be it?
I might go to the G-Dub. I think that might be
If
it.
that
that
be
was
it for
the
you?
last
I
duel of
think
Go
that
Rush,
might be it for me.
if that was the last
Yeah.
duel of Go Rush, I'd make an apology video hyping up Otis's return.
Yeah, I think
You'd have to.
I'd apologize.
Yeah, and like the red text.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah, that would be that'd be a bad.
Yeah,
fight.
that
that'd
would
be it
not
for
be
me.
great.
That'd be a bad final duel.
Yeah.
Brian and Jake, thank you so much for the Twitch bits, my friend. Brian, thank you for the $5 donation. Brian Ford, appreciate you. This was a great episode. I have the same feeling seeing Goas City as when the GX crew went to Domino City. I swear if we see Gakuto, Roa, and or Asana next episode, it will be the best episode of Go Rush. I miss them so much. So Brian obviously is
There
a
we go.
huge, loved Sevens. I think a lot of people did. And it's one of those things now, these are characters, when a Yu-Gi-Oh show ends, we've been wired as fans to know you're never going to see that character animated again. Simple as that. Maybe except for GX, which was very early on. But GX characters never showed back up. 5Ds, not counting Arc 5 because they were variants. Zexel, Arc 5, Reigns. But like, Go Rush is now lifting the cauldron on that, which is really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Um,
I do like.
So
that.
we can see any of these characters show
Did
up.
you? I wanted to ask. Did
Yeah.
you think it was? I understand they're in a kind of defeated position. They're in another world. Things are not going their way for our crew. But like, I felt like when they were like, "Well, who's out there?" Oh, Udis is still there. I didn't feel like they had a lot of confidence in being like, "Oh, that's great." It seemed like, "Oh, okay." And it was just like, I mean, this man's kind of carried you for a lot of moments. So like, I feel like you should have a little more confidence in his capabilities.
Well,
You would think.
it's funny because remember they were talking to Gohai Yuna and I think Asaka.
and she also said, "Well, Rovian is out
right
there as well."
and which
I feel like that's not just a forgotten line.
it's
Like, I
definitely
think she'll come in.
disrespectful to Udius, but I also find it fascinating that it was Gohai Yuna who changed the topic to Rovian, because remember, Go Ayuna
Still
defeated Yugioh. So Go Ayuna might not have the same faith in him as a duelist.
No, that's fair.
Because she's defeated him
That is fair.
versus some of the other characters. But to your point, yeah, I mean, Yugioh is the best duelist in the show.
I'm also
Yeah.
we didn't get it here, and I kind of forgot about it until just now. But I'm kind of low-key excited now, knowing what we know, to see Goha Yuna meet up with Yuga again.
Oh yeah.
And like even Asaka
Yeah.
for that matter, because like they both had a crush on him, and kind of Asaka forgo that because she's a good friend to Goha Yuna.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see how that goes as well, because you know we got the answers after he was gone.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I want to see their interaction in current time.
They very intentionally kept those characters away from each other, I think.
Yeah.
And that's something that will pay off probably later down the road. But very good point.
Yeah.
Sora, Solid Snack, I want to thank you for the $4 donations. Thank you, my friend. Finally able to catch one of these again. Hopefully you're having a good time. Go Rush really kicking into high gear. So wild that Go Rush is pulling a zero time dilemma move and being a sequel, prequel, and interquel all at the same time, but it's great. Next few episodes have the potential to be the most hype episodes in all of Rush Yu-Gi-Oh! I agree with you, my friend.
Yeah, fair.
Wish that eventually in the show, all of the characters from Sevens and Go Rush will get to meet their counterparts / descendants. That would be super cool, but I have a feeling that probably won't happen. I think they probably
have
want
to
to
be
limit the scope
Really careful as well.
because of the timeline implications. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's definitely intentional that it's these three. It's the Odos from the beginning. Sevens was Odo's story. It was Yuga's story, and it's the Odos here in cat form. They're not even in their human form,
And that's better.
and that's definitely
can hide
intentional.
more.
So. Well, it would be super cool to see like Asana and Asaka meet, or Luke and the Luge, you know. I'd be very surprised if that happened. Because it's the same voice actors as well.
It's
So
also
it'd
the
be,
butterfly effect too. Like
You don't want them to meet.
of them meeting, then their future selves might never exist.
right.
So like you can't risk that.
Yeah.
Can't risk it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're being very careful. The writers have to know what they're doing is very, very tough to pull off. And it's tough to sensically pull it off while keeping everything making a little bit of sense. And I think by limiting the amount of people and making it so hard to get to this world,
Yeah.
I think that was all done very intentionally.
Yeah, and it's
yeah.
about the Odos.
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
yeah.
That's what I want to see.
100%. I think we have a few super chats.
We do.
correct. You want me to read them?
I got you.
Oh, thanks, King.
No
We got
problem.
the 62 summary coming up. We'll read that in about 10 minutes.
We got $2 from Legendary Duels.
JC.
He
This
said,
might be the big one, but he may
"You ready?
have
You
already-
ready? Are you guys ready?"
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Sevens World. Hashtag King Luke.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong.
But
Jace.
I think it's above me, right
the
there.
clock's ticking.
Hey, it's like the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah, you win the
I'm
Royal
going.
Rumble and you
Oh,
That's what I'm doing
my.
for JC. I'm gonna keep pointing to him for that.
JC, thank you, my man. King Luke.
Yeah.
He
I
might
mean,
be coming next week.
I hope so.
I mean, JC, we're going to read you the summary in just a little bit, so definitely, guys, stay tuned for that. The 62 summary is crazy. And by the way, in about 2 days, we're going to get the summaries for 62, 63, 64, maybe 65, and the titles for 66. So we're getting a huge batch to say how this arc is going to round off. That'll be super fun.
Absolutely.
Gonna be crazy. We got member for 14 months, Pick Rick Slifer Red.
Pick Rick. Thank
We
you, my man.
ain't in Mutsuba anymore.
We ain't
right.
Matsuba anymore. Yep.
We in shot time.
We in Shottown, boy.
Oh, God.
Gosh, ay.
That's all I had to say.
That's all you had to say.
We got $10 from Colin Cleaves.
Thank you, Colin. Appreciate you, man.
I love how absolutely casual Yugi is being a cat for 2 years, and he acts like this isn't the weirdest thing he's ever done next to dueling a massage chair and time travel.
Yeah.
He's lived a weird life.
He got used to being a cat, and then is like, man, I just didn't think you guys would take so long to get here. And I'm like, well, it's kind of an insult because, like, I understand you're saying that, like, you thought they would have figured it out by now, but, like, you're also saying, like, man, I thought you guys would have lost by now.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. He's like, in a way, he's insulting his great-great-great-grandparents.
Yeah. It's like, listen, they're better duelists than you.
Great
yeah.
comedy. Great comedy, though, when he like, confirmed with Yuga that he's from, like, the future.
I was like, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you gotta, he said, like, respect your
said it
elders.
several
And he starts
times.
smacking him.
And even said like a pay what is it? Not respect, but like what you would do to
Basically
honor like
homage.
yeah, and honor, and then Ewan was like, "We're not dead yet." Like,
Yeah, you
no,
don't
no,
need to do
no,
that.
no.
That's when you die.
That or the line that was underrated that's completely unrelated that I loved. When Chupa shows up,
Yeah.
and Yumu goes, "Man, this is the last person I want."
Yeah, that was good.
That was
That-
me. Like
Offerings.
she was me in that
Offerings.
moment.
No, when I reacted to it, I literally said, "Okay, Yumu said what I was saying."
That's literally me.
How'd she know?
And I was
yeah,
like, "Yep."
that was a fantastic line. No, the comedy was pretty good.
it was fun on that.
Yumu's just straight up like no filter, like
Nothing.
deadpan is usually pretty
Yeah.
funny.
She tells you what you need to hear.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't want.
She
to.
keeps it 100.
Yeah. I think for me though, I don't think there's a more funny moment in Rush Yu-Gi-Oh yet for me than Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode, I think it was 49 or 50, when or it might have been 48 even, when Gakuto dueled Nail. He did the Gaku thing, and I can't not Ronze, Rinosuke.
Rinosuke, yeah.
Came up to him and said, "This is going to be your final duel," and he was like, "Why? You've disgraced the family."
One
Yeah,
of the great
that
lines
was
in
great.
seven.
Perfect.
That was
That was a
and
perfect
just how
moment.
serious it was. Like,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
I
like-
kind of agree with him.
that was that was the funniest thing I've ever seen. in
he
a
was
Rush
absolutely
Yu-Gi-Oh.
right.
Yeah, I was dying. Yeah, but thank you so much, Colin, for the very generous super chat. Yeah, he's lived a weird life. He's a weird
He's a weird guy.
Weird guy.
yeah.
Elaine has been an Obelisk Blue member for 29 months.
Elaine, you are the best.
go.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Thank you.
Hi, Dylan Dredger, Nick T, and Pete. Do you think that was Yuga in the spaceship? I think it might be
It's
Otis
controversial.
because the drone was in the spaceship, and I don't see
That's what we're
Yuga
talking about.
change. I think it's supposed to say Kaizo to look alike. But yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
the,
he didn't change Kazuo to look like the drone.
yeah.
That's for sure.
Elaine, I agree with you. I'm you know, we've already kind of talked about it in detail, but I'll say that I'm like 80% leaning Otis
Yeah?
at this point. Yeah.
I'm like
I'm pretty nervous.
58%.
Yeah,
I'm like
I'm
65%.
I'm pretty nervous for our seventh crew right now.
yeah.
It's like a potential serial killer is on the way to me. And it's like, and I can't do anything about it. I just have to watch.
But you know, here's the
And
thing.
it
Here's the
makes
thing
me
that sucks
very
because
unnerved.
who are the characters we're following? We're following Yuga, Yuumu, and Yuhi in cat form.
Yeah.
It's already been confirmed that they have their dual discs, but they don't have their decks. Their decks are still back in the
Yeah,
real
they're
world.
all
So
decks.
if Otis actually, if this is Otis and he actually starts like going after
through the
we're alive.
Luke
It's
and
over.
everyone,
We're alive.
Yuga and they just have to watch helplessly.
All right.
Like that's horrible.
It's gonna be great.
So like what are the intentions here for this character, whether it's Otis or not? Like,
Nick T's prediction comes true.
what's that? Oh,
Gets wiped off the map.
yeah.
that was
I
the
remember,
best.
and that's
months
why we
ago.
say I don't know.
Yeah.
That's literally where isn't that crazy?
that is where it came from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle.
So
Full
Elaine,
circle, baby.
I don't. There's a I don't think any of us believe it's Yuga. I think we think it's possible it's Yuga,
Definitely
Can be.
but it's
But I'm
probably
leaning
someone
towards
else.
someone else,
Probably
yeah.
someone else. Yeah. But Elaine, 29 months, Obelisk Blue. Thank you so much.
Crystal has been a raw yellow member for 11 months.
Thank you so much,
Yo.
Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
Rusher BTR new album rocks, and I have some new favorites. Give brand new, Ask You Tonight, or Weekends a listen when you have the time.
I had
Oh, I
no
will.
idea they were still making
Yeah.
music.
They came back as a return.
I'm gonna write them down.
Did you write 'em down?
Weekends and what's the other one?
Weekends,
Well, this week-
Ask You Tonight, and Give brand new.
Maybe we'll
Okay.
get you off
no,
that
no,
AJR
brand
kick.
new. Give
Oh,
brand new a listen.
Yeah.
Brand new.
I
Thank
will
you.
listen to those songs tonight, Crystal. Let you know what I think.
When you go to bed.
I'm happy when I go to sleep. I'm happy you are enjoying the BTR album. For a very long time, halfway there was my phone ringtone.
Yeah, it was a very long time.
We're halfway there. We're looking good now, and nothing's ever gonna get in the way. That wasn't the right.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah,
though.
but that wasn't the right melody.
It wasn't. But
No,
it was
no,
good.
no,
It was
but
It's been
also
a while
you
since
can't
I-
hit the same melody as they do.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a cover.
they can actually sing as well.
It's not what I
Yeah,
meant.
We didn't say that. We didn't say it.
It was your version of that song, right?
It was
there.
my version.
Exactly.
But we used to game at our friend Etienne's house. And I had that ringtone on. Every time I'd get like a text message, the ringtone would play. And we would game in this big PC room, and Etienne's dad would be in there with us. And I just vividly remember, I don't know if you were there the one time, Nick T, but it went off
Oh,
like
I
5
remember-
times in
yeah.
like 2 minutes. And he was just like, you better turn that ringtone off or
I
I'll throw
believe
your
that.
phone out of the window.
I remember vividly. I
I
remember
believe that.
So I had to silence my phone.
vividly.
That's
So
funny.
funny, dude.
That's
so
really
funny.
We got $5 from Max.
Thank you, Max. Appreciate you.
Looks like the Providence is dueling in the manga soon.
Oh.
Would be neat if he does in the anime eventually too. Maybe verse Nail.
It's like we knew what the questions were going to
Yeah,
be.
that's so
Wow,
funny.
we're
Max
on the ball.
Talked about it earlier. Yeah, he is dueling in the manga. Thanks for confirming that because I was like 80% sure. I don't think I'd be surprised at this point if he dueled in the anime. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
It's not looking great.
I feel like his arc to duel was that third arc. They didn't do it.
That was
And I just think the Lug is going to be similar to the Luke Man, where he's like this spectacle because he's a very strong duelist. They want to protect him and his legacy because it is tied to Luke's a little bit, I think, because of how they've portrayed the Lug. And so I think for that reason, we're not going to see the Lug very often. And I think for that reason, we won't see the Nail variant very often, the Providence.
Well, now like my whole brain is scrambled because like now that we know we're in the same timeline and the same worlds. So is the Lug that is clearly an alien related to our Luke, or they just happen to look alike? You know what I mean? Like
Would
it
make
creates
sense,
this
right?
whole thing
Think
because
about Luke's
all our
Luke.
Odos, we assume Asaka and Asana are related, like all these things. You know, Go-Ayuna, we saw her when she was in the duel.
Yep.
She basically had the other siblings in her head. You know, like all these things. Like, is that a possibility? Is Luke not of this world? You know, or was Luke originally had an alien ancestor that settled on Earth, and then he is an Earthling?
Oh,
but
that
he came
does
from space,
raise some questions.
which then explains
Yeah.
some of the stuff that I feel like we didn't get complete answers to of his kind of talking to his other dark side Luke and
Right.
his weird visions in the clock tower.
No,
and,
no,
like,
absolutely.
So maybe he has some alien blood in there.
He very well could. Maybe that whole family has alien blood. Yeah.
That would be
That's
interesting.
weird. That's a weird thought.
No, but he's absolutely right because now that we know for a fact these shows are of the same
There's a
world,
lineage.
Gotta start connecting.
there's got to be a lineage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a lineage. Yeah. So
Oh, Lord.
that would heavily imply that he does have some alien in him. Which
I
is
mean,
crazy.
Nail would as well in some ways.
Nail would as
Yeah.
well.
Unless he's an
That
Earthling that
makes
just
sense.
happens to just go on the ship and work for him,
Yeah.
which is totally possible.
Yeah.
I could see Nail doing that.
Top of the hour, we're going to talk episode 62 summary. We have a few more.
We do. We got $5 from Gravity Hero.
Thank you, Gravity.
It didn't happen the way I thought it would, but I was still right about them going to 7s. Also, crack theory, it's not Otis, it's Phaser.
Phaser.
Yeah,
I think that's someone.
it's possible. Someone mentioned that earlier.
Phaser
too,
coming
right?
down.
That's a crack theory.
But he does say he wants to eliminate the
It would
Odos.
keep him as the threat of the arc, right? Just now in the
It would also
seventh.
be horrifying because he's chasing all Odos throughout the timeline.
Yeah,
That's
but like
terrifying.
but the thing that's weird is like, how would he know that that Yugioh would appear at that very moment?
We don't know.
The
Unless
creator told
he
him.
Like,
works directly for the creator.
Like, what happened first? I wonder. This character made their move to head down to Earth, or Yugioh showed up first and then the character made their move.
no,
you know?
they're simultaneous.
I think it happens.
As soon
I think they are
as
simultaneous.
Cat Yuga pops
I think
in,
that's the point.
whatever
They're
comes down from the
exactly
space shuttle,
at
it's
the
literally
same
just the
time.
loop. That's the time loop.
But so
Both those points create each other.
The character that's coming down, either it's just a coincidence at the exact same time, or they knew exactly what time to come.
right.
If it's not Yuga, and they have a plan, right? If it's
Yeah.
Otis or it's some creator, they knew that they would think that the Sevens crew would think that it's Yuga returning. That's why the discs are working, right?
Yeah, right.
If he knows the time, boom, time it.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we need more information for this, but to
Yeah.
me, I think those points happen simultaneously.
Simultaneously.
I think
Yeah, I
in the timeline, one creates the other.
Yeah.
That's
dude, it's
Because we wondered, like, why did Yuga come back at that time and
Right.
not some other time? Well, it took the energy of going through the card world to maybe have him reappear. Like, maybe both of those moments created each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fair point, actually.
Yeah.
So, but, of course, we don't know anything until
Yeah.
they
Until
tell us
they
more
tell us.
detail. We're just speculating.
Crazy. And at 10 o'clock, 4 minutes, we're going to pull up the summary. If you guys want to keep going through
Yeah.
super
I'm
chats,
running.
I'm going to run to the bathroom.
Use the
real quick.
restroom. Sounds
good.
good. We have $5 more from Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
I can now become available to do any drawing for that whiteboard. ... Just get me to New Jersey.
Well, you don't like Dylan's
I thought Dylan's
work of
is
art?
there
here?
I wonder if I can click.
I'm
this and not
convinced
mess this
that
up.
Crystal, you would do an infinitely
Which
better job.
Yeah.
So if there's a way to make that possible, we would. I mean,
That's not
hey,
it.
Jump
not
Fest
it.
in 2023.
You never know.
That's not
Anyone
it.
can make it
That's
possible.
not it.
Anyone could come. Maybe
Where
we'll
did
people
he
from other
put it?
countries get it.
Bro, where
we
did
never know.
You'd never know.
I was gonna try to pull up the whiteboard. I don't know where
it's
he
in
put
the. It should be in the
Window
in
capture.
the
No.
other in the left
I don't
one.
think it's the window. Look.
No, the left one
No,
shouldn't
he-
be another
he
screen
didn't-
that
he
he
didn't set it
changed
up as a scene.
Oh, he didn't
Oh,
set it up as a scene.
yeah, he did some.
Oh, so it's lost.
No,
to time.
it's unsourced. It's a source.
It's
a
lost
source.
to time. You'll never find
But I
it.
We're
don't
not
know
doing
where-
it.
Yeah,
no,
you'll
we're gonna
never
mess it up.
find
We're
it.
not doing
Nothing's
it.
labeled
We're
in
not
there.
doing it. Nope.
Yeah.
We have $2 from Stinkfly.
Thank you.
We have what if Phaser and Tremolo are alien mermen?
Alien merman.
It's interesting the merman part,
whole
the alien
ocean
part.
theme thing,
Yeah.
and like with the krakens and stuff.
It's possible
Yeah.
they do have like those water-based monsters and things. It could be
No.
interesting.
I think that'd be interesting. I just think it's more likely. Well, it's two things. They could be aliens, or they could be like Yugioh and Yugioh, where they're not real and they are
True.
creations of the creator as well.
Makes sense because we're not saying that they're Valkyrians, but they have that eye look, and it's just all those are the shirts or whatever we saw. What was it that we saw? Oh, the scroll, right? The scroll when he's like, there's a lot.
And also
That's still a
just-
good unanswered question. We don't know. And Tremolo
No.
knows of what's happened to Phaser, but Phaser doesn't even really realize it's happening to himself.
And I just think at the moment we have to assume that the creator's and sorry to interrupt you.
No,
that
yeah,
the
no,
creator's in
please,
control of a lot
yeah.
of this because you don't drop someone with that kind of power at the end
They-
of season 1 and go, yeah, he
He's not
probably
gonna
has
have
no control over anything else. It's like that has to be in the back of your mind every time something happens.
Exactly. I would argue, as far as Phaser goes,
Yeah.
I get the sense, Phaser, that he's more pretending to not know what's going on.
It's possible.
Oh, his like blackout.
It's possible.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I would like
I'm
that.
not sure, but
Yeah, I would
I
like
get the
that.
sense that like he's like, oh, what a fun night, right? Right, Tremolo? Like nothing weird happened, right, Tremolo?
Oh, maybe like playing. Okay, that's possible.
Because he's like, this great general.
And
nothing could be
Tremolo
wrong for him.
has such a love and like passion for his being how powerful he's willing to protect his brother's secrets.
at all costs.
It
yeah.
could just show how how much he cares for him and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong.
No, I like
got
that.
the
That'd be
sense that
interesting.
he was playing into it rather.
I
but
would
very
like
much
that.
He very much could be unaware of anything happening.
I would definitely like that. I would like that for sure. TNX Rail has been a raw yellow member for
the
17
timing's really
months.
good because this is
Let's
relevant.
go.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna go right into. Perfect.
And Stinkfly, thank you as well for the super chat.
Unrelated, but your thoughts on the Premier League now season's done. Austin Villa finally back in Europe. Turn the season around.
Yeah, I was happy with Man United.
Sing the
Getting
song.
Champions League again. We all follow Man United. We're all going to Wembley. So I was happy with
what place did you guys finish at?
third.
So you're going to the Champions?
Yes. So I'm happy with that. Man
You're still
City
gonna
won
lose,
again.
but-
I'd rather Man City win than Arsenal, so I'm happy Arsenal.
So what was the top 4?
It was
Arsenal.
one team that'll shock you. Man City, Arsenal, Man United, and Newcastle United.
Well, yeah, but you said that like they were playing well. We
Newcastle
talked about that a
played,
couple
yeah.
months ago, and I was like, why? Who was on this team?
Man United?
No, on Newcastle.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, who is here?
I don't really know who's there, but I'm pretty sure they were bought out by like a big oil company.
Well, that makes sense.
Very similar to
We
like
see
what
that in
happened in
golf
City.
right now.
Right, no, I
Yeah.
know. So like I think they got a huge influx of money. But
So they can buy talent.
Chelsea finished only like 13 points
With
above
Liverpool,
relegation.
though.
Liverpool
Ooh.
finished 5th, so
Okay,
they
so
missed
they were
out.
right there.
Who got
Yeah.
relegated?
Who got relegated? Southampton
Yeah.
got
Really?
relegated. Yeah, they were up for a while too. Leicester got the team that won the
Leicester
league.
City a couple years ago.
Man.
And all their good players are going to leave, so I think they're going to struggle next year.
At least they had that moment.
Yeah, sucks though how quickly it can just change.
Oh, yeah.
And then Leeds United. Those are. The
And then
two
you had
teams.
that Ryan Reynolds team, right, is getting bumped up.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like,
But not to the Premier League. They
no,
still
but
have
they're
a
getting
few.
bumped up a level.
That'd be hilarious if they.
That'd be
ever
awesome.
come into the
That'd
Premier
pretty
League.
cool.
Yeah. Wow.
I just started watching Ted Lasso.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
heard it's
Is it
really good.
incredible?
I've heard it's
So I
really
play
good.
a FIFA season, and
2032.
AFC Richmond is in my FIFA career. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Chat dis- Oh, no, we're back.
Okay.
It did that to me too. I
Yeah,
don't know why
yeah,
it's
FC
doing
Richmond, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
that. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. But great question, TNX.
Do you, I have one more that kind of links it a little, or do you want to
All right,
go
we'll
off that?
link it to the summaries.
Yeah,
Link
that's
it
a
up.
good idea.
I mean, kind of, it's pretty crazy, but we got $10 from Natalie Lopez.
Thank you so much, Natalie.
I think the second Yugioh is Otis. I think she means the one in the ship.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
cause havoc. I have a theory that Phaser and Tremolo were created to be used by the creator in a similar purpose as when Lightning created Bowman and Haru.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's
Yeah,
going
that's-
in and
yeah.
talks about
Could
that.
totally see that being possible.
Yeah, there we go.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Nice.
Haru was obsessed with protecting Bowman
Yep.
You have Tremolo obsessed with protecting Phaser.
Yeah,
totally.
it fits.
Yeah, Natalie, I've heard you say that one before, and I do like that a lot. I think it's a
Very
good
much.
one, and I do believe that is Otis in the ship. I do. Okay, ready for the summary?
As ready as I'll ever be. Spoilers.
Spoilers. It's about
Also,
to be on screen. Maybe we have a moment before he finds the right image.
I actually said it early enough for once.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Oh, there we go.
Episode 62.
Want me to read
Okay.
it? I'll read
He's
it.
definitely not going to ask me because I can read it for once. Which I'm glad.
Nick, you can read it.
Thank you.
Episode 62, Reunion. Yuhi, Yuumu, and that guy have been thrown out of the strange dimension they were trapped in. They find themselves in a near-future city that is somewhat similar to much of the town. It seems that this world
So
is
messed up.
the world that guy lived in. As that guy talks about the reason why he created Rush Duels, he runs into a certain person along
This,
the way.
I won't lie to you, this summary bothers me so much.
Because we know he's
'Cause-
Yuga now, just call him Yuga.
Yeah, because it's that, a town that, near future, similar to, just say it.
Yeah, they're very
Stop
vague.
beating
They're
around
vague.
the damn bush.
They're vague. They're
Oh,
vague.
my
They like
God.
they're good. They like being vague.
Hey.
Okay.
Good.
So obviously, well, first of all, we're going to learn about why Yuga created Rush Duels.
That's cool.
That's cool, especially if you actually didn't watch Sevens.
Yes.
Because you'll get a little
You'll
bit of
reiterate.
insight into world
Yeah.
building. So that's cool for the people that maybe skipped on Sevens. I want to know real quick, who do you think the person is? I have my theory.
I have
on
my
it.
To a
theory, too.
certain person along the
I like
way.
mine, actually, but we'll see.
would-
We'll go this way from Pete
Who
down.
would he...
That's you gotta
Who's
look at.
off the beaten path, but would still have an impact on
Yep.
Yuga?
We might all come to the same conclusion.
No, we're not. We're not that smart.
No.
No shot. The 4 brains of ours? No. All
Now
the...
come back to me.
Okay.
All right, Nick T, we got.
I feel like my opinion. I talked about this with Dylan before, and I think my opinion might be swayed. So I'll pick something else so that you can give your theory.
Well, you can say it.
I think it might be Nail.
Yeah.
That's what
I'm in
that's what
agreement.
I actually said now too.
Yeah.
Because as of right now, he's
Because-
probably one of the smartest people.
He would
in this
understand
universe.
everything. He'd be like, "Oh, multiverse," or it's like the past. You were in the past. I get that. Okay, and he would understand. Out of all the characters in this show, I think Neil would I don't know if I'm saying his name wrong. Would just understand and like because of his whole Providence thing. I think he'd be willing to help too.
Oh, right.
I think he'd be.
And
it's not even just
I
that.
think he is the one that's smart enough, and because he has such a good grip on the city, I think he would immediately be able to see on like his computers or
He
his
detects
sensors.
it.
Yeah, he detects it. Some people
That's
enter
totally
that shouldn't be
possible.
here.
Right.
And then he's someone who can talk about the multiverse and time travel, and maybe he has a bit of an understanding of it.
Yeah.
And I could see that being the case. I think they're gonna wait on the main characters.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think because we had said this before too. I think we're gonna get a package deal with Luke,
Roman and Gakuto, because they were all together at the end of 92, chasing the ship.
the Luke. Someone said the Luke man. That'd be.
and they may find a disturbing surprise when they get to it.
Oh my.
Huh.
All right. No.
Oh,
He just runs into a certain person along the way.
Luke Man's a good guess. Do you have any guesses on that?
Not really, no.
It's very vague. Could be Roa.
a Goha sibling.
It's definitely not the main characters. It's not our main 4. Or
No.
3, I guess.
I agree with that.
Can't be.
You let that be a slow burn, but also, like, you wouldn't phrase it that way. It's got to be someone you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah.
Roa's actually not a bad one because they've had deep talks before, and I feel like Roa really became a bro by the end of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, he did.
I
I
don't
can
think.
totally see that.
If you want a deep talk between characters that's off screen that we never learn about, Roa's the guy. in
Come
this.
on, man. Come on.
I actually have another surprise one that I could see working. Skylar just said it. Tiger. Because she's not, but she knows she can how Luke's been doing. I mean, she's a little crazy.
Knowing her,
and-
she would kick the cat.
Oh,
Oh my god! I mean, she might.
Kinda.
But I didn't.
Yeah.
But I think Yuga, they had interesting interactions. That'd be an interesting one
well,
that it could be.
yeah, that's interesting as well. I don't know how much assistance she'd provide because she's so violent, but I would say
She still helped
as well.
Well, maybe he's not looking for assistance.
Tiger as well could work because there's no variance of her in Yuhi and
That's my
Yumi's
point too.
timeline.
Yeah.
True.
So
that's
that
kind of a combo play with Asaka.
yes, so that could work.
Which then makes me wonder, like, are they such good friends in the future now because, like, somewhere along the lines those families, like, split off or
Right.
something?
Right.
It'd
Like,
be interesting.
Yeah.
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 I don't know.
Hey,
Run into a certain person.
we're gonna find out in a little less than
Actually,
72
you know what? I
hours.
have one.
Oh no!
What if it's Yugioh? Because
Yugioh.
Yugioh is the person that's monitoring the person coming down from space. He's been the one up there with the Luke man. He could maybe
Could be.
possibly detect. He's extremely smart as well.
Yeah.
He could detect someone entering here. Makes sense that it's maybe Yuga's energy. Go, wait a second, isn't he just coming back? And
Right.
that could be something where he comes down and
True.
Amazing.
That's
I
true.
don't-
We always wondered, that scene I always was weird, right? Because Luke Man was like right
Yeah.
behind Yugioh.
we
and
made
it
it
looked
more
like,
into a meme.
It looked like Luke Man was going to kill him.
Yeah.
But there might be relevance to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's not a bad guess either.
I like
you know?
that. I like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm gonna end the poll
Nice.
for who's in the
It
ship.
actually flip flopped.
Yeah.
There was a lot of.
It was leading
yeah.
for a while and then it switched back.
40% of people think it's another version of Yugioh.
That's interesting.
38% believe it's Otis.
Yeah.
21% believe it's someone else.
Otis was leading for a while,
Yeah.
and then it flipped.
So but like you look at those numbers and you're like, all right, it's a coin flip. It really is a coin flip. So like they've set themselves up in a position where they could go in any route, and we don't know what. It's not predictable.
They can tell us Yusaku's coming down. We'll believe it.
I'll believe it.
I'll believe it.
JC would
So
hate that. I would love it, and I would say this is your fault because you didn't confirm coming to Jump Fest.
Oh my god.
He comes down and he asks the crew, "I need to know if Legendary Duels is coming to Jump Fest in 23."
I would make that meme in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, and I would text it to him.
Oh god, he'd be horrified. That would be tough for him.
Yeah, it's true.
It'd be hard. It
Yeah.
really would be.
I'm gonna run another poll, and I want to know for the lovely people in chat here who they think this character is gonna be. Who is
Who? Oh, the person they're gonna meet.
that
Interesting.
in 62. I'll add a few options here. Luke, Nail,
Do you have another song on?
Oh, I put.
Luke Man.
Because I was like, wait a second. I saw it stop saying
else.
farewell, and I was like, that doesn't belong in the song.
Yeah, no.
It's like, where's that?
I've been
Seems
meaning to this
fair.
for a while.
What you cooking?
All
What's
right.
this guy cooking?
I'm cooking.
Who is the character they meet? Interesting.
Oh.
All right.
I'm a vote.
I voted.
I'm voting right now.
Am I continuing the chats we want to do?
Vote.
Yeah,
Votes
we'll continue.
matter.
Chats?
Your voice
All right.
matters.
We got $6.01 Canadian from Pick Rick.
Thank you, Pick.
Don't let the crazy ending distract you from the fact that we're less than 4,751 hours away from Jump Fest and Yu-Gi-Oh! 9 announcement. Now that's
He did some math. He did some math.
What I need to buy
47.50.
is like a button for pyrotechnics to go off down here. every time.
Pyrotechnics?
Well, like, because when they point to the WrestleMania sign, the pyro always goes off.
Well,
You know what? Let him cook.
Literally.
we'll
Yes.
cook.
Yes, that's the point.
We'll
Let
be
him.
dead.
Let him.
I'm waiting for it.
Cool stuff. Pick Rick, thank you for the calculations. I'm happy you're as hyped as I am, and as we are, I should say. Very, very excited. 197 days, 21 hours, until most likely we learn about Yu-Gi-Oh! 9, the 9th installment into this wonderful franchise. Very exciting.
We have 11 months of Slifer Red from Ray Winding.
Ray Winden.
Jazz legend.
Now this is a very interesting. I don't understand. She wrote in the kitchen, grabbing whipped cream.
Excuse me?
That's all there's written.
All right.
I'm
I'm Calibro
told.
might be able to answer that better, but not us.
All right, so we got.
Wait, what else did she write?
That's it.
That is it. Unless I miscopy and pasted. That's
I
all
might have
she
to issue a
wrote.
technical
She
foul
said
there.
she's getting whipped cream in the kitchen?
in the kitchen, comma,
Okay.
grabbing.
Oh, are we doing
whipped cream.
whippets?
No,
You would love
I
it.
would love
is that
that.
what she's doing? Is she doing
We're
whippets?
doing like
Maybe.
nitrous
Might
oxide.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to do.
I
Watching you pretend to fake do.
I did
is
whippets all the
hilarious.
time back in college.
Let's tell the chat how you did. Yeah, great idea.
Yeah, I unscrewed the whipped cream.
Screw.
I uncorked, and then I.
It's getting worse.
I
It's getting worse.
yeeted the cream into my nose.
No.
We got $10 from Natalie Lopez.
Natalie, another
Thank you,
very
Natalie.
generous Super chat. Thank you, Natalie.
Also, Dylan, when I think about Brains, it reminds me of a Greek tragedy due to the fact that it is the only show where a protag does not get what they want. I cried at the end of the show. I don't know what show that is off the top of my head.
She is, well, no, just like...
No, I think saying just in general, like a Greek tragedy. Like
Yeah. Yep, I got it now. Okay.
Yeah, Judge didn't read that manga, Greek tragedy.
Come on, dude.
I'm sorry.
I'm never sitting next to you again.
That was good.
Thank God, Cal. Cal better be back next week. He has no excuse.
Natalie,
Can still make Yu-Gi-Oh! Nothing, man. I tell you.
It can
Thank you so much for the super chat, Natalie. Another very generous one. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what makes the Vrains ending one of the more unique ones in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it really does have, I think when you look at it, a very tragic ending.
Yes.
I've always called it. There's a video on my channel.
Totally honest.
The tragic ending of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains or something like that. But yeah, Yusaku's left alone and then he goes into isolation for 6 months.
so.
And, it's proven when you're going through a tough time, it's always best to try to talk to someone, surround yourself with company. And that the fact that Yusaku does the opposite of it, I think shows the mental state that he's in and just shows also that
But it makes sense for Yusaku.
Yeah, it makes sense for him because he's a very closed off character. But
Yes.
we know it's not the healthiest thing to do. 6
No.
months of isolation, not talking to anyone, can literally lead you to just going insane.
I mean, he
Yeah,
literally
it can.
basically killed his best friend, so I really can't blame him.
Right? No, I know, and it's an insanely tragic ending. And Duel Links, of course, puts a little bit of a
Twist.
a
Nice.
more happier continuity twist on it. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It is like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah. We have $2 more from Natalie Lopez.
Thank you so much, Natalie.
Here we go.
Otis created Phaser and Tremolo to erase the Odos.
Well,
The question is why.
Ah.
More importantly, why?
Well, the question also that statement is that Otis created them.
Yes.
So would Otis be the creator in this case? Are they maybe two godlike beings that have been rivaling each? I mean, they could go that route, right? They're two godlike beings with similar powers. And one is maybe good, one is maybe bad, and they both are doing it in different ways, like to try to like
Yeah, right.
instill their ideologies on everything. Or they're the same character. But whatever... Phaser's purpose, we know, is to destroy the Odos. So Natalie is 100% right about that. The only thing is, were they created for that purpose only? Was there a different purpose and that purpose changed maybe after the creator didn't get his way because of what happened on Velgears? I don't know. But to view them as hitmen to just kill off the Odos, I mean, based on what we've gotten so far, it's not the craziest theory.
True.
I agree.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
It's not the craziest theory. Natalie, thank you so much.
We got $5 from Ice Eden.
Thank you, Ice Aiden. Appreciate it.
Hello, Yugi Bros. As a person who loves cats and recently saved and now owns a kitten, I really did like this episode.
Well, that's the other thing that I think I probably overlook because I've
You don't like cats?
no, I'm indifferent on
He doesn't.
cats.
That's fine.
I
That's
don't
okay.
have
I'm not going to blame you for that.
no, I don't have a problem with cats. The only cat I could ever own is a Sphinx cat because I have very bad
gotta be
allergies to them.
hairless.
So they got to be hairless. Ivrea doesn't want a hairless cat, so we're not going to get a cat. I'd be more than happy to have
Looks
a
a little weird.
hairless cat.
Looks like a mole rat.
Yeah, I guess because I'm used to hairless creatures walking around my house.
But you have to admit, like, Liza, when she's not wearing clothes, looks terrifying.
I
like,
do.
especially when she comes out of the darkness.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
She is horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it all the
Wait,
time.
what do you say?
Liza without clothes on looks like a giant rat.
It's a naked mole rat.
Yeah,
it really is.
She does, but she's very friendly. She's
great.
Yeah.
I miss her.
I know. Yeah, I've only seen her like once in the last 2 months, but yeah, like I think for the cat lovers out there, they probably loved the episode, which is super nice.
Cool. I'm just writing down Electric Kevin's because it didn't come up on mine, so I'm just finishing.
weird.
Yeah, I don't know why it's on his.
No, I'll read it then.
No,
Kevin-
I got it.
No.
5 Australian from Electric Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
With no more Gallop era Yu-Gi-Oh! By the next, I don't know, maybe 10 years, by then we'll probably get every anime and manga exclusive cards printed.
Yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing
so.
because we are running out of exclusive anime cards and archetypes. The final number from Zexal was just printed, which is super cool.
Wow.
Just announced to be printed. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you, Kevin. I think we're going to get to a point as long as, and I think there's a big as long as here, as long as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime stays focused on Rush. Because there is a realistic chance that maybe for Yu-Gi-Oh! 10, Yu-Gi-Oh! 11, we go back to the main
Massive.
style
You never
Yu-Gi-Oh.
know.
And if that happens, I think they're gonna print out those first 6 cards maybe at a slower pace, and we're not gonna get them as frequently because then we're gonna have new shows that they need to fill in. But as long as we stay with Rush Yu-Gi-Oh, I think 5-10 years we might have all the cards printed from the first 6 shows, which is
cool.
very cool. Yeah, eventually they'll run out of anime-only cards. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, we'll probably never see Judgment Arrows either. I agree.
No, I mean,
Oh my
I mean, I
God,
guess they
yeah.
might.
Might
just-
never happen. You know, it'd be great.
It'll never happen.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll never happen.
Judgment Arrows.
I think.
I mean, that was a cool card.
Yeah, I
It would
think,
be
I think
sick.
we'll get it. We're still missing a good amount of Vrain's archetypes.
Not surprising.
So waiting for Lightning's deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
keep
big
waiting.
one. Wendy's
Wendy's
deck.
deck.
Keep waiting.
Blood Shepherd's deck.
Oh yeah, I really can't wait for that.
Bowman's deck. Well, I'm just listing all the ones that haven't been printed.
Oh, Hydro Drive has not been printed.
No.
Really?
No.
You love Hydro Drives. You would play that on like all the time.
I didn't mind. I liked it more than Blood Shepherd's deck.
Well, I mean, anyone.
Whichever.
Anyone.
Atrocious.
Come on.
It's not a good deck.
We got $5 from Jack TCG.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, my man.
Hi guys, episode was neat, dueling cats based. Also, Dill, I'm testing IKEA Labyrinth and new archetype Vanquished Soul. Also, didn't do well in Philly, but fun.
Listen, Jack, as long as you have fun
happens.
playing Yu-Gi-Oh, that's
hey,
all that happens.
Everyone's really.
And
good
it's tough,
competitive.
I've talked to a lot of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh duelists where like you can deck prep, you can deck test all you want, and then like there's nothing like practicing the pressure of when you're actually in the tournament and you have
True.
you have an opponent next to you.
And part of it's
That's
the
good,
drawing,
too.
man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
It's-
draw.
it's
Like you
a
might
lot
go
of it's RNG.
literally against the antithesis of your deck. You're screwed.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like
Yeah.
that's it. It's
Or
like,
you might draw a brick and the guy next to you just flop the nuts. And there's really
I know
nothing...
it's a term, but it's still bothering.
I love
always-
that I started this and you just rode that train.
Flop the nuts.
You can flop the nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flopping the nuts, the best way is like usually when you flop 3 of a
There's-
kind, you got like aces or something.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
or it's a
This is my
straight.
help.
Or you flop a straight or a flush, you have an ace high
I'm having a
flush.
great
Yeah.
time. I'm doing great.
Things like
good to
that.
see.
But you can
to
flop
see,
the
bro.
nuts. When you flop the nuts, it's a great feeling because you just
You gotta stop.
you
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
because then
you know nobody beats you.
you know you have it. Like it's
Yeah.
over.
You
know?
beat everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something beautiful about it.
I could say something else, but I'm not gonna.
All right. Jack, but no, seriously, man. Thank you. And IKEA Labyrinth and Vanquished Soul. Keep me updated on that, man. I'd love to know how those testing goes. And I know Jack is friends with a few really, really like top good Yu-Gi-Oh duelists, like some of the best in the world. So I'm sure they'll help you out and keep me updated, man. I'm just happy you had fun in Philly.
Yes. And our last time we got $2 from Gravity Hero.
Thank you, Grav.
I noticed that Tiger looks like Phaser. Thoughts?
Yeah?
I mean, the
I've
color,
never
that
noticed that. I
that
don't
greenish
know.
color scheme for the hair. But other than that, I got nothing.
That's an interesting comparison. I don't see it.
I don't see it either. They're
Yeah, I don't
both
see
very
it.
violent, though.
Yeah, yes.
They're both very violent, but Phaser, but in different ways. Because I feel like Phaser's a lot more calm,
Okay, hold up.
Yeah.
and Tiger's just aggressive.
Yeah, but they're also different in the sense that Phaser is calm, but he wants to annihilate
Right.
our friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like Tiger
Why is
is
Phaser not showing up?
very violent and aggressive, but it's somehow with love.
Yeah, it's like a
she's
bullying older
trying
sister.
to get us in the right direction.
Yeah, she's like a bullying older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
to everyone, not just Lou.
No, to everyone.
So,
Um,
Phaser,
Yeah, there's Phaser.
Tiger. Phaser, Tiger. Actually, I should probably do this. Hold up. Do that. And then do that. And then
Yeah, I can't see
I don't
it.
see it.
Boom. Boom. Different color eyes. No, no.
Maybe the facial structure
Maybe
is
the
a little
facial
similar,
structure. That's about it.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's interesting.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's find out.
Well, I love hearing people's takes on things. You know,
Yeah,
that's definitely a
interesting.
unique one. I've never heard that
That would
one
be
before.
pretty wild.
Could you imagine if we didn't know Phaser's last name? I'd be like, oh my god, what if it's her? No, not Haruka. That's her, Tiger's actual first name.
Yeah.
Kami. I can never say Luke's.
I can never.
Yeah.
Kamijo?
Maybe it's just Kamijo.
That
I think
sounds
it's just Kamijo. Yeah.
We should have one more dono came from Jack, $10.
Thank you, Jack.
I just kept seeing hand traps, no engine, and when I saw engine, I got hand trapped. Also, my friend Dennis got first, and Buddy Ryan, you got top 8 and the Kamal top 32.
Yeah, Ryan Yu is the one that I know of. I've heard of him. I know he's super good.
Top 8.
It's got to be cool when you go with people, as long as you have fun, to see them like perform.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, you want to see your
Friend
friends.
one.
Yeah, I know. That's freaking
Crazy.
nuts. Dude.
I would have came
Yeah.
in. I would have came in last.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would have came higher than you though.
Well, yeah.
We know what school you would have been at.
Okay, we're not now. Jack, I want to say, I'm happy you had a good time playing. Congratulations to your friends, and it's good to have friends that are like that seasoned of veterans in terms
Teach
of
you a lot
placing,
of
because they
stuff.
can teach you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can deck test with them. They can give you tips. Like, that's super cool that you've kind of cultivated a group like that. So that's awesome, my man. Jack, I want to thank you for the very generous super chat, and let me know how the deck testing goes. That's awesome. All right. Well, this was a long one. This was probably one of the longest Go Rush podcasts in a while.
In a while.
Yeah, well,
Because we got one more, because it was crazy.
I didn't even see it, so it's all you. 2 from Gravity, I think. I'm Electric Kevin. Oh, 20.
Oh yeah.
Kevin,
Kevin. Thank you for the 20 Australian dollar super chat. Appreciate you, my man. I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like comparing the 2 eras of Yu-Gi-Oh with each other, like comparing Luke or Roman to the other rivals / girl leads, because Luke is very different and Roman is way better than the other girls. I mean, that's fair. I've definitely seen people, I've even seen people say, I hate comparing Sevens and Go Rush to each other. So I think that's fair. I think there are people that definitely don't like comparison. Rush Yu-Gi-Oh is so different than Gallop Yu-Gi-Oh.
Totally fair. It's just natural.
It's
Yeah,
natural
that's what
to-
it is.
people do.
It's just
it's natural to compare with
Yeah.
shows. Like
what people
that's
do.
just kind
Yeah.
of what you base it off. Like any show, you're gonna compare the seasons
Yep.
to each other. Everyone has a favorite season,
Well, and the big debate in the NBA world ever is Michael Jordan or LeBron.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
people will argue and always say you can't compare them because it's two different
different
types
times.
of
Yeah,
basketball.
true.
It was a different game.
It was a different game, right? And that's kind of similar to the debate
different
of
writers, different
comparing,
characters,
right?
yeah, different
literally
and
dueling.
different ways of dueling, and just the theming of it is also so different because this is more, at least Sevens definitely was more comedy based, whereas the other Gallup shows in a lot of senses were more world-ending threats, like really serious at times, life or death, like really intense stuff. So it was different even in the themings, but so I think it's totally valid if you don't enjoy those comparisons.
Sure.
But the comparisons are
They're
gonna be there.
not gonna stop. So you just
Yeah,
that's something you're
unfortunately.
just gonna have to
Yeah.
ignore.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is unfortunate.
That's how it goes.
Well, it's like even comparing like in baseball, like Babe Ruth to a player of this decade. Like, is there any
Yeah.
way to accurately like Babe Ruth to Shohei Ohtani? You can't compare them.
It's the
Yeah.
dead ball era versus the live ball.
Yeah,
It's
pitchers
impossible.
weren't throwing 100
They were
miles
literally
an hour.
plumbers in the off season.
Right.
So it's completely
Right,
different.
but
That's
like,
for real.
Yeah. Oh well, in baseball, especially in like the early starts, the 10s and the 20s, the 30s, it didn't pay enough. So like in the off season, guys had regular jobs to support their family.
That's insane.
So it wasn't like an all year round. These guys get paid $300 million. It's totally different.
yeah, you see that in everything. In comparison, is just it's just always going to be there in every single media, not just Yu-Gi-Oh or anime, but totally valid. And I'm
natural.
sure there's a good amount of people that do agree with you there, Kevin. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, yeah, for me, like if I'm doing a video, top 10 girl characters, like I view it as all one Yu-Gi-Oh branch. So like Roman would be near the top, but I'd also have Aki on that list. I would I feel like splitting them right now. There's not enough content to do that.
No.
If there's 6 Rush Yu-Gi-Oh,
Then
then
you
maybe
could
you could say
totally
like
do
the
that.
6 best Gallop girls, the 6 best
Yeah, well,
Bridge girls.
Kevin just said, hopefully we get 4+ Rush era Yu-Gi-Oh series so they can be their own thing.
Right, there you
Yes,
go. There you go.
exactly.
And the more content you get with Rush, if we get to 4, 5, 6, then you can start splitting them up. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to know.
It was
We
5,
lost.
5.
We
Yeah,
lost 7-5. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was watching them blow it
You
upstairs.
don't want to know a lot. It's too it's not fun.
But Kevin, thank you so much for the generous super chat. I'm sure there's a lot of people as well that do agree with you there. I've even seen people comment on my videos where I've put in like top 10 most badass debut duels. I had moments from Rush Yu-Gi-Oh and Bridge and regular Yu-Gi-Oh, Gallop Yu-Gi-Oh, and there were a couple people that commented, "Oh, can you like leave the Rush Yu-Gi-Oh off these videos? Like I don't even view it as real Yu-Gi-Oh." It's like, well, so there's people that's both ways.
They'll always exist.
But you know,
They'll always be
they'll
there.
always exist. They're not gonna
Not
gonna go anywhere. No.
No,
But I wanna thank all of you guys for an insanely incredible podcast. This was a lot of fun. Theory crafting. Next week's gonna be just as nuts. It's gonna be just as nuts, man. I can't wait. I want to thank Pete, Nick T, and Dredger for taking time, as always, out of their busy schedule to join me on this stream. Shout out to Caliber as well. His Twitch is linked down below, Cal Breezy. I'm gonna let these guys go down the list. Please give them a follow. They do some great content and great stuff in their own rights. We're gonna start with Dredge, and we'll work our way down.
Dredge, stream at twitch.tv/DredgeNader. Haven't streamed in a while. I don't know. We'll stream eventually. Be on the lookout. That's about all I got. I don't have any timetable with what's going on. So, Nick T, I know you got some fun, exciting stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Hit him with it.
So first things first, I also stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/NickFightsMoms. It's also been a while. It's life's been busy. I've been meaning to I meant to make a comeback on Monday. That didn't.
I mean,
work
make
out.
comeback this past Saturday.
See, as it
It
goes.
happens.
This Monday, expect to see a return. I've actually just, again, as it always goes, been getting the itch to play Minecraft again. So,
there you go.
if you're into, any kind of retro game emulation, Minecraft, I also occasionally do music streams, which I'm very due for one, where I perform from a plethora of covers that I enjoy, as well as a lot of original music. And speaking of original music, by the way, you can find that stream Monday nights around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
Speaking of original music, I perform under the name Nameling. I just dropped a single 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or will be 3 weeks ago. And I'm actually, as we speak, updating my whole link tree. I'm going to drop it in chat as well.
Let's go.
You can find everything everywhere. My new single, Triple Pisces, as well as, for those of you who've been waiting, Angie, those songs are now on Bandcamp. If you want to purchase them, you can purchase them. I'll drop the link tree in chat, but be on the lookout there for news on the album and future singles, so check it out on all social media platforms, Nameling NJ.
Awesome.
We're excited.
Very excited.
Get this guy to 200 monthly listeners at least.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I love
the goal.
It.
Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know, to run a YouTube channel, Clueless Gamers. It's been completely inactive. I haven't really done anything.
We're going to get back on it, though.
We're gonna get there. You get Secret Invasion coming this month, so you can expect some content on that.
Nice.
And follow me on Twitter, BeaverGarrett21.
Very nice.
Very awesome. Pete, Nick T, Dredge, thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you.
They're having
Truly,
us.
always appreciated. Thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been Talking Yu-Gi-Oh! Crazy 8's episode 61. Captain, it's an interquel. Thank you all
That's how you
so
fix it.
much for watching. And I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.